There we go. We live.
Sweet as a nut. How you doing?
Good, man. Good. um, I just went to go see. I just got back from seeing Planet of the Apes.
Oh yeah, was that any good?
Yeah, it's pretty good. It was like I had high expectations going into it, and so far it lived up to my expectations. But here's the problem: is
You always have to
you,
wait for that butt, innit?
well, here's the problem was um, that my son, well, he gets out at a certain time. Well, I have to pick him up before a certain time, and
Mm-hmm.
so we didn't get to finish the movie because I had to
Oh,
leave.
I've been there. That's what happened to me. You remember that's exactly what happened to me with June 2.
Yeah.
And the thing is that he didn't even. It's not that even that he was finishing. That he was finishing. He still had like 2 hours, 2.5 hours left at nursery. But we were like, better go. I was feeling nervous. You know, I was like, it was one of his. It was like his second or third day there, and I was like, I don't know if I want to
Oh
leave
yeah,
him there. You
yeah,
know what I mean? So I was like, I want to get over there. So I like you just got a little bit nervous and went and got him early.
yeah, yeah.
So I've been
No,
there, bro.
yeah. So I don't know what happened at the end. Um,
Yeah. The thing
and
is,
I
yeah, the reason why I haven't watched this or lined up to watch this one yet is because I understand there's been like there was like I know this is like a reboot, right? Or like a kind of
well, the
or
I
like a
think the
continuation.
original one, yeah, it's a continuation of the reboot, but like the first one that had Franco in it, the first reboot
Mm,
Planet of the Apes that had James Franco in it. It was really good. Like, they did a really good job of rebooting it, and they just kinda ran with it after that, and they took some time in between, like,
mm,
the a lot of times, when they do especially a reboot, when they do a reboot and then they're like, "Hey, that did well. Let's just do another one," and they don't take the time to, like, "Okay,
yeah.
well, let's make sure that this makes sense and flesh out the story and all that." Like, they did
Mm.
that with this, but, like, other man, they do a
And that's the thing.
terrible
I
job.
haven't seen any of those movies. I didn't see any of the three of them, and I heard they were good. But I've never really been like a major Planet of the Apes guy. So
Yeah.
I'm not really like, you know, I would feel from what I understand of it with this new one, you can kind of watch it standalone. You don't really have to know much about it, but it helps if you obviously know if you've obviously watched the three movies before that.
It does help,
It
but
helps.
all 3 of them are pretty good standalone ones,
Mhm,
but it helps. It's the world building, the lore building that they do,
mhm.
a really good job of. I like all of them. The whole series is really good, but I don't know how it ended, so it coulda went all downhill from there. I don't know, but up to the point where I got, it was pretty good, so
It was promising. How far did you get into it? Like, would you say halfway?
more than halfway, probably 3/4.
So that's probably enough to know that it was a good movie. It was you know
But I will
there were
tell you
things you
this,
saw that
yeah, I will tell you this, it would have been a better series if they made that into a series, like, not a
Mhm.
long one, but like, my favorite thing to watch is limited series because
Mm.
they're able to take their time, but there's a finality to it. They're
Yeah.
not dragging it out for 10 seasons like The Walking Dead. Like, they're
Mm.
like, "We're gonna give you these, 6 episodes, and that's it. That's all I got for you." Like, I like
Yeah.
that.
And for something like Planet of the Apes that has such a deep world to it, there's a lot of lore and kind of that could be suitable for a television situation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Mm.
But while we're talking about stuff, I know one of the things that we talked about bringing up was um, movies, like nostalgic movies, kind of from our childhood or from when we were young or whatnot that we thought were pretty cool.
Mm.
Um, yeah, I got three. One of them we've talked about, but I'm interested to hear your three first.
Yeah, you see, I've kind of got like this was a hard one, yeah, because there's so many to kind of do you know what I mean? There's so many to it's one of those ones where it's like when someone says to you, "What's your favorite song?" or "What's your favorite?" It's so difficult to narrow it down to like a short three. Um, for me, like the ones that I kind of tried to pick one throughout like a couple of eras. So I had one from like the 19 eras, which is my number one, which is one that I watch like religiously at least once a year. I've watched it
Mhm.
once a year since like the 80s.
Dang.
Um, it's just a movie that I can always go back to. Like it never runs out of kind of like I don't know. It never stops slapping for me, and that's Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, like I watched that when I was the first time I watched that. I think I was maybe 6 years old or something like that, maybe five. I'm a big Kurt Russell fan anyway,
Hmm.
but like it was just a movie for me that like if you look at it for the sum of its parts, like it's something that really shouldn't have worked. You know, there's a little bit of like martial arts, there's action in there, there's like fantasy adventure, but it's like a very self-aware kind of comedy as well, which I really like. It's like a mix of genres that when you think about blending them together, it really shouldn't work, but it just does. Um,
Hmm.
it does get criticized a little bit for having like a lot of stereotyping and stuff like that.
It
But like,
yeah, it did have
yeah,
that.
it went hard on the stereotypes. I'm not gonna lie,
Hmm.
but like I think the thing that kind of just kills it for me with like, I'm a huge Kurt Russell fan. Like I have been since like he's like how people always go. I mean, they've always got like Arnie or like they pick. When you think about the like an old school action hero that people always go to. People usually always go to Arnie or they go to Stallone.
Yeah.
For me, it's always been Kurt Russell. And what made me love this film more than any other is it's kind of like his role in that film. Kind of being he's like obviously seen as when you're introduced to the movie, you expect this guy to be this kick-ass hero because he
Hmm.
looks like the embodiment of like a 1980s action star, and he'd done stuff before. Like he'd done like Escape from New York, and he'd done The Thing, and where he was a very sort of it was a very serious quintessential, like just the quintessential idea of an action star.
Yeah.
But instead, in this movie, you get him as like he's terrible in a fight. He makes stupid fucking blunders throughout the movie that pretty much endanger everyone around him. I mean, the
Hmm.
guy. I mean, nothing sums up that Kurt Russell role more than him knocking himself out unconscious just as the final showdown's about to begin. And he shoots the gun in the air, and rocks fall down on his head, and he knocks himself out.
Yeah. He was
Um,
the bumbling hero. He was almost like
yeah,
a Mr. Bean of action heroes.
yeah, yeah. And I mean, the one-liners that he comes out with in that movie. I mean, that I've never seen more one-liners land. I still use them in day-to-day life. Whenever I can slot in a Jack Burton line in real life, I take full advantage of the situation. So like that for me is like my that's my go-to movie that I probably watch it at least once a year. I had like a few like I didn't really go into too much detail with some of the other. I didn't make a free, but I had a few honorable mentions. So I had like Old School's a movie I sometimes go back to quite a bit.
That's a good one.
Um, and it still makes me laugh now.
When my boy
Big
Blue, like that,
Lebowski.
Big
Big
Lebowski.
Lebowski was another
Yeah,
one.
that's classic.
Tommy Boy is like Tommy Boy is one of those like quiet ones that like a lot of people don't really. I mean, people obviously know about it. It's got it's fairly well known.
That's big guy in a little coat, right?
Sorry,
Big guy in a little coat. Is that when he
big
did that?
guy in a
Yeah.
little coat. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
Usual Suspects was another one that I thought. Even things like American Pie but the other two I was gonna have on my list was probably Blade Runner because I just
Hmm.
think it's that quintessential like 80s. Again, it's just I'm a very big like fan of like 80s everything. Like
Yeah.
even though I was like 6 or 7 years old when that decade ended, you often go back in the 90s. I ended up watching a lot of 80s stuff back, and it
Hmm.
was just the era that really slapped for me. So there was that, and there was American Psycho. Those are probably the three movies that stand at the top of terms of just like nostalgic movies that I can always go back to.
Like you talking about the Christian Bale American Psycho,
Yeah, oh
or
yeah,
is
of
it?
course, of
Yeah, yeah,
course, of course. As far as I'm concerned, there is no other American Psycho.
yeah.
Yeah, the dude is a classic. I'm like Big Lebowski is again one of those movies that I probably wouldn't say I watch it every year,
Hmm.
but every couple years I'll slap that on, and it never fails to kind of. I still feel like I'm watching it. For me, a nostalgic movie should be something that you can feel like you're watching it for the first time again when you watch it. And I very rarely get that feeling with anything. There's probably a
Yeah,
list of maybe 10 to 20 movies in my entire life that I'm able to watch that have that effect. And I
yeah,
would say that those are movies on the list that definitely do that.
Yeah, no, those are good ones. Those are good ones. Let's see.
I want to hear. I'm interested to hear your three and if I've even heard of them because I know you're a bit of a hipster. So
So
let's see.
mine aren't crazy. Mine aren't wild. So mine. So the first one is super bad. Like I can watch
Super
super
bad is a good
bad.
one.
I can watch super bad anytime. Like
Mm.
it doesn't matter. Now, mind you, when Superbad came out, I was an adult, but I didn't have children at the time, so I didn't really feel like a major adult. I didn't have those type of responsibilities. But
Yeah.
like Superbad, I could literally put that on right now and still be cracking up.
Mm.
Um, Perfect movie. Um, Another one is Beverly Hills Cop. Like
Beverly Hills
that
Cop.
was,
I mean that was a great movie. I mean, I liked all three of them to be fair, but the first one
yeah,
definitely
I
is the
did
best
too.
one.
I did too. And for anybody that saw our first or no, not the first stream, but like what was it, the last one we talked about Eddie Murphy? We were just talking about a stand-up comedy, but like, dude, like I was like in I was probably, I don't know, 8, 9 when it came out. But
Yeah.
I mean, I was all over it. Like
Yeah.
I wanted the jacket, I wanted everything. I was all about Eddie Murphy. Anything that he did, like I wanted to watch it and consume it. Like that was my dude.
Mm.
Um so Beverly Hills Cop, like the fact that it was like one of the first like action comedies, like they do that all the time now, but
Yeah.
that was one of the first ones where it was really a big deal. Now, Big Trouble in Little China is an action comedy too.
Yeah, yeah. I
And
was
to
gonna say it's
me,
interesting that we both picked action comedies.
it's the best of both worlds.
Mm.
Big in my opinion, Big Trouble in Little China was like that was Rush Hour before Rush Hour.
Mm-mm.
Like the way that they put that together, that's what it reminded me of. Um, but yeah, Beverly Hills Cop. There's so many movies that you can spin off and look and say, okay, you got your inspiration from Beverly Hills Cop, clearly.
Mm-mm.
But that one was dope. And they got the new one that's coming out soon too, which I don't know how good it's gonna be, but it's Eddie
I
Murphy,
didn't
so I'm
know
gonna
about
watch it.
that.
It's Eddie Murphy. I'm gonna watch it.
I still haven't watched the Bad Boys thing. I was supposed to go to the premiere for that a week ago with a couple of weeks ago with an ex like high school buddy of mine. He
Mhm.
works for the TV industry and he gets a lot of like premiere tickets and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And I couldn't go for various reasons. But I mean, I wasn't that psyched about it anyway. I did like the first Bad Boys movie, but I've never been majorly on it. But I've heard it's a good movie, so hopefully Beverly Hills Cop can deliver in the same vein.
Well, I will tell you for Bad Boys 1, Bad Boys 2, awesome movies. Bad Boys
Mm,
3, no,
wasn't it? Yeah,
wasn't it. Wasn't it. But apparently for this one, it's doing really well in the box office. It blew up, so
yeah, yeah.
maybe.
Apparently, it's getting good reviews and people have responded well to it. So fair play, man. I hope it does. I'm not. I think it's time to move on from all that bullshit anyway and let the guy have his career back. Do you know
Yeah,
what
I
I mean?
mean, Will Smith did Emancipation right after
Mm, mm,
the slap, and that movie was great. And if it were any other time, he would have been nominated for an Academy Award again. But he went up there and slapped Chris Rock on a Sunday afternoon. You can't do
can't do that.
that. Can't do that. I blame Jada. I still blame Jada for
Yeah. I blame Jada for everything in my life. I don't know about you.
that.
I just do.
She's
But no,
yeah,
fair play. A quick shout out to Dude Gamerson. Yeah, like the I know a lot of people who have been influenced by Big Lebowski as a movie in general. It's like it's just it's one of those movies that just slaps. So I just want to give a quick because obviously contributing to the chat and everything. Just want to give a
oh yeah, for
shout out
sure.
before you give your last one.
For sure. Yeah, no, I appreciate that. And you're right. The Big Lebowski is definitely a classic, like more than a classic. Um, but my last one is one that we talked about, and it's The Last Dragon. Um, like
Mm,
that is a movie that is continually quoted for at least since I seen it, which was probably what mid '80s. Like
yeah,
continually quoted all the time. The songs on it, somebody having the glow, like everything. Like Like everybody quotes that, and that's a major movie
Yeah, I'm
for me.
embarrassed, man. I still haven't seen that one. I need to find time to catch it at some point.
You got to see it.
Right.
You got to see it,
Because it
and then
seems like my kind of jam,
I'll
to
be
be
able
fair.
to use those references, and you'll know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Um, but I had a two honorable mentions too. Um, one of them is Fight Club.
Oh, Fight Club was one that I considered as well.
Yeah, Fight Club
I love
is,
Fight Club.
dude, like that's another movie that I could just put on, or even just have in the background, and then just start
Mm,
looking at it at one point, and then be like, engrossed in the movie, just immediately in.
yeah,
Um,
it's a great book as well. Like it's
yeah,
the book is quite short. You could probably read it in like 2 afternoons. It's like a 4 or 5 hour read at most. And especially for me, who's a bit of a speed reader, I can probably do it in like three.
yeah.
But it's one of those books that you can kind of just like pick up and be done fairly quickly.
Oh, The Men
The
Who
Men
Stare at
Who
Goats. That is a
Goats.
good movie. That is a good movie. That is for sure a good movie.
I'm not sure. I feel like I've seen it, but why can't I? Why can't I?
That one is George Clooney. He's
Oh, I've
starring
seen this. Yeah,
the
yeah. No, I've seen this.
yeah. That's a pretty good
That's
movie.
definitely an obscure one. Like hell of a cast as well. I
Yeah,
mean, Jesus Christ, Clooney, McGregor, not that McGregor, Jeff Bridges, Kevin Spacey is another guy that I still like. I used to consider him one of the best actors of all time. Obviously, the whole controversy since then hasn't been great, but like,
yeah. He's a
to say the
diddler.
least,
He's been diddling.
he's been diddling a bit. Yeah, yeah. He's been nonsense about the place. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah,
But
dude. That,
yeah,
one- that whole situation was so disappointing because I feel the same. Like I thought that he was one of the best actors of all
and I
time.
say yeah, it was disappointing, but not surprising.
Yeah.
It was one
Well,
of those, and when it came out, I was like, all right, I can see it.
well,
I'm disappointed, but I'm like,
I would
yeah,
say like when I say he was, I mean his work stands for itself. Like
mm.
he did good work. So it's separating the two. He was definitely, an elite actor. I just think that he's never going to be out there again.
Oh no, he's finished.
They can't
He's
do
finished.
anything.
He's not gonna have like a. The thing is that Louis C.K. was more of a that's kind of fucked up, dude. It wasn't like, oh my god, like this is like I don't want to use the R word on here, but he managed to combine like R wording and noncing, which is like there's no comeback from that.
Nah, nah.
Like there have been people that have recovered from the old R word because it does come down to like it's their word against their it's one word against the other.
Hmm.
And if you're not found guilty in a court of law, you've always got that to fall back on. But when you're R wording and you're noncing, that's a
Yeah,
combination that just you can never. There's no recovering from
yeah.
that.
That's bad.
Right?
That's bad. He's
Yeah,
he's he's done. That
he's done.
sucks. Oh Brother Where Art Thou was a really good movie. Like as soon as I hear the word or hear the title of it, it immediately makes me think of the song. But George Clooney was dope in that one too.
Yeah,
George Clooney, man, he doesn't get enough appreciation for how good
I
he is.
feel like Batman kind of fucked things up for him.
Dude, that was so bad. That was
The
so.
thing is, I'm gonna say something controversial here. Yeah? I know it's a
Don't say it.
terrible movie.
Don't say
I
it.
know it's a terrible movie. It's a terrible movie. It's awful. But I enjoyed it for what it was.
CJ
But
says
it
she
was
liked it too.
cheesy. Like watching Arnie run around going, um, chill and all that. It just made me I don't know. I just kind of enjoyed it. I never really expected too much. Like,
Dude, it was
and I
so
don't
bad.
take Batman as seriously as a lot of other people do. If like you fuck up Batman, it's basically like it's over for you. Like that pisses a lot of people off.
It does.
And I'm like, I can look at what else you've done, and like
It
Three
does.
Kings was another movie he did that where I'm like, that's one of the ones that kind of it's a movie that people have forgotten about.
Three
Um,
Kings. Who else was in that one?
the one when they're army guys and they find gold. They're
Oh
looking
yeah,
for
yeah, yeah.
gold or something. Him and Mark Wahlberg and there was somebody else in it as well. It was free.
Was it
Ice Cube.
Ice
Ice
Cube?
Cube.
I was gonna say it was somebody black. I know that. Um
Yeah, that was
uh
a banger as well.
yeah. No, that was an interesting movie. But no, that Batman situation with George Clooney, like that was rough. That was rough for me. It sucked with Arnold. It just the whole thing, and Chris Pine never recovered. I feel like he was never where they thought he was going to go. Like the whole group, the whole cast had some struggles after that movie came out
Mm.
because it was awful. But people saw it. You know,
Yeah,
if you had the
yeah,
right
it's always
expectations,
like
I
that.
guess you could get through it.
Yeah,
But
I feel
another
like
one
Chris
that
Pine could make a. I feel like Chris Pine could make a recovery with the right role
um,
because
I don't
he's
like Chris.
definitely
I
got
don't
something
like
to
him
it.
as an actor. I don't. I do not
Mm.
like him as an actor. Like unbelievably cheesy to me. He was in the Wonder Woman
I
stuff.
didn't see that one, the 1984 one. Yeah, I didn't see that.
Yeah,
To
that
be
one was
honest, yeah,
bad.
I haven't seen the first Wonder Woman either.
The first one was good. The first one was really good. The second one,
I haven't seen it.
the second one was trash. I feel like they were trying to do like so. Thor Ragnarok had that same '80s type of feel to it, and
Mm,
I feel like they tried to do that with Wonder Woman 1984, and failed miserably.
yeah,
It was
it felt
bad.
like a bit of a, or from what I heard, it sounded like a little bit of a rush.
Yeah,
I didn't see Thor Ragnarok either, and I like
that is
you know,
one of the
I do.
best Marvel movies that they've ever done.
Wait, was that the third one or the fourth one?
That's the third one.
Oh no, I've seen the third one. I haven't seen the fourth one. I haven't seen Love and Thunder.
Love and
I saw
Thunder.
Ragnarok. Ragnarok was fun. It was like, you know, the whole thing with Hulk and all that. I enjoyed all that. And I'm a big like Taika Waititi fan. I think he's made some good shit throughout the years. So
Yeah, I like him a lot too. Um,
mm,
but the fourth one was not good. I mean, for me as a Marvel fan, like I mean, I watch all of them, but it's just it's almost like what I do with UFC cards. Like I'll go into it and be like, this is gonna be terrible,
mm.
but I'm gonna watch it because it's what I do.
I'm not really a huge Marvel guy, but like I did watch all of them up to a certain point. When it got to Endgame, that was the Endgame for me. I'm like, oh, it's Endgame, right? I'm done now. Like, I'm not fucking partaking anymore.
I said, y'all
You've
are
taken enough
done.
of my
I'm
money.
done too.
I'm taking that literally. Like I'm out.
Now they just start to oversaturate, man. They just started to. I mean, the same issues that we've said that we have again with the UFC, like with the oversaturation of cards and things like that. They did the same thing. They got all the movies, and then they got all the shows on Disney. It was like there's too much going on, y'all. It's too much. We're gonna
Yeah.
have to chill. But they've actually done that. They've actually stopped and pulled back,
Mm.
which is smart. But
Yeah. Yeah. Nice. How you doing, Chris?
oh, he tapped out on Marvel. Um, yeah, No Way Home wasn't bad. It was just mm I feel like they're grasping at straws. Like they're doing too much. Doing too much. Just sit down and wait. Let everybody catch up, and then we put out another movie. And they've actually started to do that. I think because honestly, and my cousin would kill me for saying this, but I mean it's the truth. The Ant-Man 3, good lord, that was the that was one of the worst Marvel movies. That was one of the worst movies that I may have seen. Like in the history of cinema.
I'm
It was
gonna have to
bad.
take your word for it again. I didn't see Ant Man 2 either. Like I said, I tapped out
Don't.
once I think they called it phase three. I think once phase three was done, I was done. I was like, I'm not really. And the thing is, I like I said, I've never been huge on it. Like I'm a bit nerdy in that way. Like I don't mind. There's I was fully on the bandwagon when the movies were good, but I know when the dark times are coming, and I could see that I could see a change in the tide definitely coming, and it's like, no, I'm out.
Yeah, it did get dark, but I mean, I'm hoping for things to start to reboot. Like when Deadpool comes out, Deadpool's my favorite Marvel character.
I've got an early prediction
So
for you. Yeah, that movie's gonna suck.
it might. It just might.
I find Ryan Reynolds fucking jarring, to be honest. I think Deadpool one was really good. I wasn't really big on Dead. I think this movie's gonna be shit. I
It might.
genuinely do.
It might.
The Daredevil show was a banger.
The
And
Daredevil show
goddamn, that
was
they did really well with
elite.
that.
Elite. That was a
They did
great
really well
show.
with that. And I'm gonna say something controversial as well. I didn't hate the movie with Ben Affleck as well. And again, I know it's a shit movie,
Wait,
but
wait,
I
you talking about the
just
Daredevil movie?
yeah.
Oh my
It's I know
god.
it's a shit movie, but you know one of those ones where it's like you can just kind of again just enjoy it for what it is. It's a terrible movie. I get it. It is terrible, but there are some terrible movies that are just enjoyable for being terrible. I thought it was one of those movies you could watch, you know, like where you can kind of laugh at it being terrible and it's fun in that way. There's
It's,
terrible where it's like, oh my god, I can't get through this, and there's terrible where you can kind of laugh your way through it.
it's just he was taking it so serious. That's the
That was part of
problem.
the issue. That was part of the issue.
That was a
So I don't know.
problem.
There are a lot of
Who?
problems with that movie. Let's be, and I really enjoyed Colin Farrell was what was he called again? Bullseye.
Hmm.
I always enjoy me some Colin Farrell, like, you know, just having it up. I was all right with that.
So I got a question for y'all, and this is for you and Chris, dude, Gamerson, everybody. Who's a better actor, Nicolas Cage or Ben Affleck?
Ooh. I don't even know if I want to touch this one. That's a dodgy question. That is.
Who is the better actor out of those two?
The thing is, yeah, I tell you something, yeah, like it's a difficult one, yeah, because when I think of like Nicolas Cage, I think of a lot of people shit on him for his performance. Like they say, for example, that, and I do think that John Travolta's performance in Face Off was better than his,
Hmm.
but it doesn't mean that Nicolas Cage's performance was bad. I thought he was phenomenal in Face Off.
He did his job.
I thought he was phenomenal. I thought they were both great. I just thought that John Travolta was obviously he got to play the better character for the majority of the movie, if you know what I'm saying. Nick Cage kind of set it up, and then he kind of knocked it out of the park. But I
Hmm.
thought they both made that movie great. But I don't know, man. And Ben Affleck's obviously had some good. He's had Good Will Hunting. He's done some good, like the stuff that Ben Affleck's been really good in. Didn't do as well in the box office.
Hmm.
I don't think he's a bad actor. He's definitely taken on some bad roles. I think that's more the issue. They've like Nick Cage has obviously had some movies that have absolutely bombed and have been terrible, and they've clearly been money grabs. But I think the best way to frame this argument is just to look at what their best performances were, rather than what their failures were. Nick Cage in The Weatherman was great. Geez, almost half an hour. No, you're gonna get that from time to time, you know.
Yeah, it's all good. Um, but Western, we got people on Twitter, so it's all good. We got
We
people.
got a lot of lurkers today. How many people have you got in there? How you doing,
27.
Western bro?
We got
How
27.
many? 27.
27.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
it's a lurking afternoon. Wednesday's usually a little bit of a dead zone.
Yeah, it's all good.
Mm.
But I have one more. And this is like honorable mention, but I can't even remember when this came out. But this is a movie that I've watched like a million times. Meet Joe Black.
What is it?
Meet Joe Black.
Oh, Meet Joe Black's a decent movie.
Yeah,
How you doing,
look at that one.
Crystal?
Fan of that one for sure. But I mean, I like Brad Pitt. I like him as an actor.
Yeah, Brad Pitt. So you can't really question Brad Pitt. He's pretty great.
Yeah,
You couldn't put him in a who's better out of Nicolas Cage and Ben Affleck conversation. Do you know what I
nah,
mean?
nah, nah. He deserves better, I think.
Oh, a lot better.
Yeah.
That's unfair to even put them in the same category. But like I said, there's a lot of I would probably have to go with like I'd probably go with Nick Cage just because even when he is hamming it, when Ben Affleck's bad, it's just bad. Whereas when Nick Cage is bad, it's kind of funny. Like there's a lot of roles you can look at with him, and you're like, at least it's when it's just goofy and cheesy, you can still enjoy it. Whereas with Ben Affleck, you're just like, ugh.
Yeah.
So I'd probably have to go with Nick Cage as well.
Yeah, I'd probably lean Nick Cage. There's certain roles that are just kind of tailor made for him.
Lord of
Um,
War was amazing.
dude, that one was really good. That
That's the
was
thing. If
really
you if
good.
you put like Lord of War Weatherman, Face Off. I don't think there's anything that Ben Affleck's done that you can compare to that. You literally can't. Like Face Off is another nostalgic one that I can go back to. It came out like 1996. That's one you can
Mhm.
go back to and still there's still nuances to that movie that you can enjoy. There's still
Yeah,
little
that's true.
touches here and there in the perform. Like you can't compare probably any Ben Affleck performance. Even if you look at like Good Will Hunting where he was decent, The Town where he was really good, it just
The
didn't
Town
slap.
had such a good concept. That's what
Mm,
made, in my opinion, that's what made that one so good. The concept of it was really good because that's what Boston is known for, is
mm,
those types of situations. And so it played right into it. They're from Boston, like it all made sense. Um, that one was that was low hanging fruit for them, and
yeah.
he didn't mess it up. He didn't mess it up. I almost look at movies like that for him, like just don't mess it up. Now I do think that he was a good Batman, um, which is
Ah,
odd to say. It's
yeah,
odd for me to even say that, but I do think that he was a good Batman for what he did. What that particular Batman was supposed to do, as far as like being an older Batman and just kind of looking at the world the way that he did. But um,
yeah. I more looked at him in things like Argo. Like Batman for me again, it's like I don't count those as like because again, it's like the movies weren't good. Do you know what I mean? And that's the problem.
mhm.
You can say he was decent as Batman, but like the movies genuinely stunk. So it's like it's really hard to like use that as a way of propping him up, especially if you're gonna do a comparison with like I said, Nick Cage is just like he's got some even though he's been a bit of a laughing stock in recent years and he has come back every now and then and done some good shit. Like
Yeah,
I think if
that,
you see,
that Pig movie was pretty good.
I still
I
haven't
think he
seen
got
that,
I think he got nominated for an Oscar for that.
Yeah, I still haven't seen that.
It
Nicolas
was
Cage
pretty good.
clearly just like his personal life is what fucked him up because he spent money at just an embarrassing rate and then he just had to take whatever he could get.
Yeah,
Like he was spending money like Johnny Depp out here
without Johnny Depp money.
without Johnny Depp money. That was the issue. He was buying like islands and properties and stuff like that. I don't understand how that happens, by the way. How you can make that much money and then like piss it up the wall like that, like fail that spectacularly. Do you know what I mean? It's amazing. And Nick Cage does seem like like he's had some wild like marriages and all that kind of stuff. Do you know what I mean? He just seems like a very strange guy outside of the in his personal life.
Yeah, he is a very strange guy. I think, at least from what I've seen.
Oh,
Um,
Jiggly, Jesus
Please,
Christ.
that is the worst movie of all time, in my opinion. Like, I don't. That is the worst movie ever.
So I need Matua to elaborate on this one because he's
Dude, he
I
always
need
comes so crazy.
I love this is what I'm saying. Like I always get I always get a tingle, yeah, when Matua turns up. Now Con Air's the thing is with Con Air, yeah. Con Air is a lot of people say it's a shit movie, and I don't get that.
I don't think it
You
is.
know, with the accent and all of that. But I thought that again, I thought he was good in that. You can't compare Nick Cage and Ben Affleck. That's a crazy one. The more that I think about it, it's like it gets wilder. Con Air is a great one as well. Con Air's one that's like wow. I love that movie as well.
But it was like an ensemble cast.
How you doing,
So
Aaron?
I mean, he didn't have to carry the movie necessarily, but I do
Yeah,
think it was a great movie. It was good.
because
It
John
was really good.
Malkovich was basically the guy in that movie. He was, even though obviously Nick Cage was the the protagonist or whatever you want to call it. It was a John Malkovich movie, really.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'd definitely go with Flight of the Navigator and Never Ending Story is one of the I think Never Ending Story was the first movie I went to in the cinema. Gone in 60 seconds. God damn, I forgot about that. Nick
That's
Cage
that's
cleans it. What are we talking about here?
that's Angelina Jolie was in that one.
Yeah, the thing is, yeah, she still. I mean,
Mhm.
I know she looked like a bit different, and she's still fucking smoking in that one.
She was still
God
hanging on.
damn.
She yeah. It didn't fall
Yeah.
apart for her for late until later.
Nah, bro. The thing is, yeah, like, I still think she's all right now. I mean, she does look a bit worse for wear, but
So
she
it's a
didn't
little
quite
cracky.
age like Halle Berry did. Halle Berry
Little yeah. No, Angelina Jolie looks cracky.
looks cracky. Yeah, she does.
She's like 96 pounds.
I remember hearing a joke about how Johnny number 5 got his name the same way Johnny 23 got his. Yeah, Con Air's and Gone in 60 Seconds is yeah, that's a go-to one as well. Yeah, I mean Nick, and like I said, the more I think about it, man, Nick Cage just fucking destroy. Yeah, it's not even a debate really.
Yeah.
You had me
No.
going there for a little while. I was like, oh, this is a hard one, and then the more I think about it, it's like, nah, bro.
So the Inkwell was a very good movie, very slept on, very good movie. And yeah, Jada Pinkett. That was when Jada Pinkett was still, we were still cool with her before she did what she's done. But the Inkwell was a dope movie. And Lorenz Tate, that was one of his few remaining starring roles outside of Menace to Society. But and I'm a fan of Lorenz Tate. Um, man, I haven't seen Gone in 60 Seconds in a long time.
I'd
Long
say it
time.
hasn't been that long for me. I've probably that's another movie that could have made the list because I've seen it a few times as well. Like that's one of the movies that I've gone back to a couple times. Dead Presidents was a great movie as well.
Bruh.
I
Such a
haven't
great
seen that. I
movie.
haven't seen that one in years.
I watched it maybe a few months ago.
Jeez,
Yeah, I love
that's
that
one I
movie.
would go back to because I think is it. I can't remember. Obviously, there's a bank robbery or something in it, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Aaron, Big Trouble in Little China was the one that I mentioned for mine. Big
Yep.
Trouble in Little China. And again, Aaron. This is what I'm saying. Aaron is not a regular 21-year-old. Aaron coming out with Big Trouble in Little China is crazy because you
Yeah.
must
How do
have
you
been.
even know that? That's
Wait,
crazy.
were you watching it as in you were in your dad's balls when he was watching it? Like you were just hearing the Jack one-liners like while you were swimming around. That's crazy, bro. This is what I'm saying. Aaron Tatz is a different dude, bro.
Yeah, he's different. Um, the yeah, no. Going back to Dead Presidents, Terrence Howard, who's apparently teaching the world new math. Uh, like he was prime Terrence Howard. Like the way that he was saying Maine, like dude, he was a yeah, he's over the top. Um, but that movie is so sad at the end. So sad. But it was very telling. And Chris Tucker playing doing something that's more dramatic, um, just showed his range. And I wish
Mm,
that he's been in more movies, but he got that rush hour money and just kind of dipped out. But
fair play.
um, but that movie is really, really good.
Actually, National Treasure as well was another. But Nick Cage cleans it. Like, why did I even start? There should have been a immediate like, are you joking? Of course, it's Nick Cage.
I guess he got some sneaky bangers. He got some sneaky
Yeah,
bangers.
I think it's because more. Yeah, the reason why you think that's is because, like I said, his career over the last 10 or 15 years has been very. It's been like B movie bullshit. But when you actually think about what he's done throughout his entire tenure, like it's been, yeah, man, he
Yeah, he's
deserves some credit. Like he's had some great ones. He's been in some great movies, even if he hasn't been. Oh, Spaceballs is another one. Goddamn, Aaron's got this the bangers
yeah.
as well. Spaceballs is a
Spaceballs is
really
really
funny.
dope.
I watched
That was good.
Spaceballs again like 9 or 10 months ago. That's another one you can go back to.
It is. That was a funny movie. That's a really funny movie. Who stars in Spaceballs? Is it Rick
It's the guy
Moranis?
who's in Independence Day, the guy who played the president, and it's got what's his name? The guy from Honey I Shrunk the Kids as well.
Is that Rick Moranis?
That's the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, Rick Moranis. Yeah, just him with that massive helmet on. I used to use like memes of him quite when I was making my early videos. I used to use those Spaceballs ones quite a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um.
he was brilliant
Yeah.
in that. They both were.
No.
And they
Yeah.
had
That
John
was
Candy
hard.
as well. John Candy
Yes,
was in that as well.
dude. He's so underrated, man. So underrated. I love John Candy.
I always used to mix up John Candy and
Chris Farley.
no, the guy who was the dad in Roseanne.
Oh. Dang it. What's his name? What's his real name? I was about to call him Dan Connor. That's his name on the show.
Might as well be
um.
Dan Goodman. I think his name is
John
Goodman.
Goodman.
John Goodman.
Thank you.
John Goodman.
Yeah.
Yeah, John Goodman. Yeah, Spaceballs is great, man. I'm definitely gonna have to reload that one up again. because that's another one that can just. It's like with old school. It's very rare with comedies where you can watch them multiple times and they still make you laugh. You on all chat here? I think all the chats are coming together. I hope they are anyway. I
Yeah.
hope they're all coming together in the
Well,
same place. I would hope so.
we got a bunch of people on Twitter, but most of the chats are most everybody is actually in yours and Bad MMA Math. We got one person on Frankie and Jax. So
Oh, sweet. Yeah, I've got 15 in my YouTube now,
yeah.
which is cool. Goodman is a great actor. He can be a good guy or a proper evil villain. Yeah, like versatility is always a big marker for me in who's a good actor or not.
Yeah, he's got longevity too. Like
Mm.
longevity.
But no, with nostalgic movies, you could literally go on all day because, and I find that what's interesting is having people come in. You missed a funny one by me. Can you repost it again?
What did you
Because
say?
it could be a thing because
Oh,
we've got
here's
because
what he
we've got.
said.
Oh, who is the other actor y'all were comparing to Big Dick? Is that a legend? Is it Big Dick Nick Cage? Yeah?
I
You're
don't
gonna
know.
get angry. You're gonna get angry, Weston. But it was actually Ben Affleck. Feel free to rage now.
Go ahead. Go
Go off.
ahead.
Go off.
Appreciate
Goodman
that.
as Walter in Big Lebowski was hilarious. Yeah, Big Lebowski is like I brought that up at the beginning as well. Big Lebowski is still that's another one I can watch like every year, every 18 months,
Hmm.
and it's just still I can still enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah.
I think I'm funny anyway. You have your moments. Sometimes you're very hurtful, Weston. I've gone to bed. I've gone to bed crying because of you from time to time.
Yeah. Western.
Aaron's doing a real good job with his mod status. How we doing, Side? I've got to give a quick shout out to Side and his channel because he and I got into it yesterday when we were talking about gaming. I ended up hanging out. I was planning on going off at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and then Side and I started getting into it about like retro games and stuff, and I ended up being here until 4:30 in the morning.
Mm, mm,
It's
mm.
wild, bro. Side's the
Yeah, I
guy.
saw you on.
He's
Um,
got an up and coming YouTube channel as well, so check Side out.
no, we were sitting on the couch, me and CJ, and she was like, "Do you know that Frankie's still on?" I was like, "What?" She's like, "Go check on him."
Yeah, bro, the sun came up and I was like, the thing is, it was one of those ones that I didn't notice it for the first half an hour because I just got into it with Side, man. Side Frankie, I want to see you rank the Resident Evil games. I'll be happy to do that, bro. I'll be happy to do that. The
Yeah.
thing is, would you want to see a ranking of like all of them, or do you want to see them like is it one of those ones where like mixing all the remakes and the old ones together? Because that's a tricky one. That's actually because again we're getting into nostalgia again.
How many Resident Evil games are there?
There's
Like,
loads, bro.
there's a lot of them.
There's loads. The thing is that there's loads of like side ones as well. So you've got the mainline series, which is like Resident Evil 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And Resident Evil 1, 2, 3, and 4 have all been remade. And then you've got shoot offs like Resident Evil Zero, you've got like Code Veronica. Bro, and it goes further than that. You've got like one that was like a one where you had to use a gun. I can't remember the name of that one. There are probably like 20 Resident Evil games.
Jeez.
And then you had the ones on like Game Boy and shit like that. There's loads, bro. There's loads. Tell these cunts to get in the correct chat. I think it's all coming to the same place though, I think. And hopefully having it on the screen is helpful. So you should see everyone pop up.
Yeah.
At least I'm hoping. Resident Evil Village. Fucking I forgot about that one.
Village.
The only thing I couldn't take with Resident Evil, the reason why I don't like Resident Evil Village as much as some of the others is I don't like it being from first person perspective. So you know where you can only see the gun or you can only see the
Mhm.
knife or whatever it is. That works for a lot of games, but it doesn't work for Resident Evil, in my opinion.
Is it
In Resident
because
Evil,
of when they come up on you, like when you have to, or when they're attacking
I
you,
think yeah,
or
it's the way that you can interact with the environment. I think because Resident Evil is obviously seen as like a horror game, but there's a lot of like the puzzle element that comes into it as well, and the way that you can interact with the environment's very very important. And I just felt like being able, and also like being able to relate to your character, being able to see them on screen, it's much easier when you can see them walking around and you can see them interacting with stuff. Whereas when you've
Hmm.
just got a voice and you don't see that person's face or see what that person, it's weird. You don't see in Resident Evil Village, you never see what the titular character looks like,
Yeah.
which is a problem. It just makes him hard to relate to.
Yeah.
If Resident Evil Village is still good, but it ranks lower for me than some of the other Resident Evil movies, like definitely. But aren't they helping this channel by chatting on yours other channels? Yeah, it's one of those ones that we've spoken about this before. When we're talking about general stuff, because obviously you guys know I mostly talk about MMA on my main channel, and so does Jax. Sometimes it does turn into a therapy session, um,
Hmm.
as it did in some other nights. But obviously, like we do want people to the whole point is if you're somebody who wants to talk about movies and games and things like that, we want people migrating over to Frankie and Jax more because you'll get more like dedicated content to that stuff on that channel. But obviously, for the next like few months, while we're just building up that channel, we're kind of trying to operate it through all three. Crystal Miller knows what I'm talking about with the therapy session. That was the other night. We got into it at like 4 o'clock in the morning, talking about all kinds of like.
I wanted this ball.
You want the boss?
Yeah.
They went in.
Yeah, I want to play TBs in a ball.
Okay.
Mm.
Let me go turn on the TV. Hold on. Gotta be a dad real quick, yo.
Good. Yeah, Weston is Weston kind of has a right to throw his weight around a bit. He's one of the OGs. The OGs get like extra credit. Do you know what I mean? No mods yet. That's okay. We need chats here. I don't know what the situation is. I'm hoping that everything can be seen in here. Yeah, we went from everything to marriage to parental relationships and a little bit about co-parenting with exes. Yeah, we got fucking into it. I felt like I was talking way out of my comfort zone with that one, but we just got into it. I was like, I don't want to give some people some bad advice. Do you know what I mean? Especially because I've got some really fucked up views when it comes to that stuff. Did the Resident Evil films live up to the games? Absolutely not. The films are terrible. Feminism chat and everything. Yeah, we really got into it. But that's what I like about these live chats. As I've always said, we're always happy for you guys to talk about whatever you feel like talking about. I think that's the main thing. The movies were dog shit crap. They were as useful. It's like if you put dog shit into a bag. It's like, what's the point? Like, they were awful. So see, a lot of people like them for they've got the Resident Evil movies have like a really big like. I've never liked Mila Jovovich. Like, for one, I don't think she's that hot, and secondly, oh, she was great in Fifth Element. Fifth Element, yeah, like she's exempt in terms of that movie, but she was never a good enough performer to carry a movie like that by herself. And video game movies are always fucking trash as well. Dog poop in a bag can be useful. So if there's people you don't like, I miss Bruce Willis as well. Bruce Willis is another guy. We were talking about action heroes earlier because I brought up Kurt Russell when I was talking about Big Trouble in Little China, and it's like most guys are either like they're an Arnie guy or they're a Stallone guy. I was a Kurt Russell guy, but Bruce Willis is another one of those guys that doesn't get enough love as well because he just looked like an everyman that could just get stuff done, and there's a charm about that, you know. But yeah, I'm very sorry, Weston, if the chats aren't working out exactly as you are hoping they came together. Oh, 12 Monkeys, yeah, is another one that I don't understand why it doesn't get that much love. I know it's a little bit confusing. I love that movie. It is a bit odd, and to be honest, I still don't completely understand what goes on in 12 Monkeys, but I still like really enjoyed it. And I've seen it a couple of times to try and understand it, and I still don't fully understand what is going. I know there's a little bit of time travel elements going to it. It's a tricky movie. You have to really like. The thing is, I was high a lot when I was watching that movie, so I think I maybe need to watch it sober and see if I can get a full understanding of it. But still a great movie. Look, I pulled the chats to the new channel. You are a legend, mate. Western is like a fucking yeah. Any success I have is gonna have to be attributed to you somewhere down the line. Now we're talking about 12 Monkeys the series or 12 Monkeys with Bruce Willis. I haven't actually. Do you know what? I think I saw an episode or two of the series. Can anyone confirm or not if it was any good? The series, because it's something that I don't know. I think I watched an episode or two of it, and then it just fell off my radar. It obviously it didn't rope me in. But the movie is one of those ones where I feel like I need to watch it again. In fact, probably when I get off tonight, that might be the one that I go back to. I tried to give the series a go, but I just couldn't. I couldn't get into it. This is what's great about this topic, though, because like I've always got time on my hands, and I swear to God, like you guys need to feed me with some stuff that I can, because I watch a lot of stuff. So like, I'm definitely at a point where I need to you know, there's never enough stuff to watch. I binged the whole series in 3 days. It wasn't too bad. It didn't get was it just a one season standalone thing where it concluded, or was it a thing where it ends and then they're like, this shit ain't coming back? Because I fucking hate when that happens. So I'm gonna have to check that. I'm gonna have to check that out. If it was a standalone one season, I might go back and give it a go, because the concept of it is amazing. We're talking about 12 Monkeys now, by the way, Jax.
Mhm.
I might have to go back and give that a go as a series, but
I didn't even know they made a series. Did not know. Seen the movie though.
never Pip. They did get to the end of it. There is an end to the story as far as the series is considered. See, that's all right. I can get behind that. I mean, like I said, the concept of 12 Monkeys was they tried something in it, and I can respect that. Like, it's a little bit of a like, it was never going to be something that was going to be mainstream like appeal, but they tried something, and I appreciate when directors and writers give something a go. Like, they don't always draw, but they don't always color between the lines. And 12 Monkeys definitely is one that you know, stands out for that.
Yeah. Yeah, the movie was wild. I was surprised that Bruce Willis even wanted to do it. You can tell like the movies like based on the stars in it, like because they have particular taste, they get these scripts and they're like, nah, that ain't me. And you kind of know what kind of movie it's gonna be. But 12 Monkey, it was a decent movie. The Lawnmower Man was
I
wild.
can't again. The Lawnmower Man is something that I watched as a kid when I probably shouldn't have. So I can't really remember too much about it.
That one was wild.
Mm. Yeah, that's one of those. Yeah, it's one of those movies you have to watch when you're fucked up, I imagine.
It helps. It helps.
I can't tell if this dude is Pib or J Rap or just someone else.
What dude?
Yeah, Lawnmower Man's one I'm not going to be going back to. I can comfortably say that. I think that it belonged in the era that it was in, and that's just where it's going to stay for me.
Yeah, it's probably not going. It was weird. It was weird.
Lawnmower Man's one of those ones that gets like trashed by. It got trashed by the critics really badly, but the people that love it love it. There's a lot of
Yeah.
movies like that. I mean, Big Trouble in Little China did terrible when it first came out. It was panned terribly, and became a cult classic. You know, Macho is a character though. Yeah, Macho can always be dependent on to come out with the wacky stuff. I never know what Macho is going to come out with.
Yeah. But I appreciate it though. I do like it. Have you seen Requiem for a Dream?
I have. That's a very strange movie as well.
Very.
It's a very strange movie. Again, it's one of those ones that's another cult one. Is that I can't remember specific. Is that like basically about like there's some drug stuff involved?
Yeah.
It's
Kind
like
of
about
a acid trippy type of movie.
which is
I
perfect
remember.
for this channel because we've been talking about drugs a lot this week. Like we always manage to get into like talking about different trips that we've had and whatnot.
That
You lot have
movie
got me
is
in.
crazy.
It's
But
crazy.
it's
Yeah?
good though. I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Very dark as well. Yeah, very dark. Ass to ass, ass to ass. See, whenever you guys bring stuff, there's loads of weird movies that I can kind of get. Like, did anyone see Donnie Darko?
I own it. Yes, I own that game. That one on on DVD. I love that. Yeah, you're right. Marlon Wayans was really good in that movie.
Marlon Wayans has
Again,
had some good roles, to be fair. He's not a bad actor.
no, no, most comedians are good actors.
Of all the Wayans brothers, he's probably the one that can actually do serious stuff and get away with it.
Yeah,
Like, I'd say he's probably the most talented Wayans, which isn't saying an awful lot because I mean, I'm not saying they're untalented, but maybe a
but
bit.
their talent is normally one direction.
Mm-mm.
Like Damon Wayans to me, and he'll be on that list. Like he's an elite stand up comic, elite. But outside of that, I mean, his television shows have done pretty well. But
Yeah,
um,
Western. I don't know where to go with Jared Leto because he was in Requiem for a Dream, right? Like, I don't know where to go with that guy. I don't know if he's great or completely trash.
I think he's great.
He's like the modern day Nicolas Cage. Do you know what I mean? He's like an odd fucker, but like he's done some good stuff along the way. It's just that it seems to be hit and miss with this guy.
Um,
I don't know what it is.
I think that Jared Leto is extremely talented, extremely weird, but I think that he's really good. Um, and
A bit too
the
narcissistic, maybe.
pretty good. Yeah, now that is true. But a pretty good musician as well. But
I did not know that.
yeah, oh yeah, he's good.
I'm not a fan of Jared Leto. He's a weirdo.
He's weird.
He's definitely weird, and apparently he's like he's one of those when people who take practical jokes too far and pisses people off a lot. There's
Yeah,
a
I
lot of that
wouldn't
going on
say
with him.
you should be friends with him. I don't think that that's the guy to be friends with.
I, l- the thing is that every time I think of Nicolas Cage now, I'm just gonna be thinking of him having a massive dong. Thanks a lot for that. You just ruined it.
You know, what's interesting is Jared Leto is only 8 years younger than Nicolas Cage.
Really.
Yeah,
Oh, Butterfly Effect's a great movie.
it was. That one
And
was.
Ashton Kutcher is not a good actor, but Jesus Christ, that was a good movie. Now we're really getting into it in terms of like, you know, that could have gone in my unknown movie, my like the movies we talked about last week, and we were like, movies that are kind of really good but didn't really get the recognition that they could have got. But
Yeah,
Butterfly Effect was a good one.
I feel like it did kind of bring that word more into people's vocabulary. So
Yeah, for
it
sure.
accomplished that if it didn't make any
Leto
money.
Leto ran a near cult with his fans from his band, and he made them treat him like he was a Christ figure. He does have that look about him, doesn't he?
Yeah, he
The
does.
standardized white Jesus Christ. He does have
Yeah,
that. I think he's going for that, definitely.
yeah, he's nailing it. He does look
He's,
like
na-
that.
he's nailing it. I did like Dude, Where's My Car, but you couldn't say it's an Ashton Kutcher good performance, could you? It was a funny movie.
It was funny.
It was funny, but you couldn't say the acting in it was especially good. It worked
No,
for what it was.
no.
It's one of those things that shouldn't have worked, but did. If you look at all the elements of it, it's incredibly stupid and incredibly juvenile, but it just works.
Yeah, I kind of put "Dude, Where's My Car" kind of in the same category as like Half Baked. Like it's not going to win any Academy Awards, and the performances aren't just going to blow your socks off. But
But it's
it was
fun to
funny.
watch.
It was
This is the
funny.
thing. Some things are just fun to watch.
Yeah,
Like they're terrible movies, but they're just fun. And I wouldn't call Half Baked a terrible movie, but you couldn't call it good either. But
no,
it's just
no,
fun. Yeah, he was great in Lord of War. This is what I'm saying. He's got performances where it's like, yeah, you can see there's some talent there, but it's
dude,
like
he was good
that's why I
in.
compare him to Nick Cage because it's like the hit and miss thing. It's like you see elements of him where you're like, God damn, this guy's talented, and then there's another side of it where it's like, man, you really fucked that one up.
He was good in Dallas Buyers Club too, but he was also playing the transvestite. So I don't know if that was right up his alley or if that was something he identified with, but he did a great job.
Weston's bullying people in the chat now. Weston's on one. I would say that I don't know. Pineapple Express might be one of the best weed movies.
Hmm.
That might be controversial.
Man, that's a tough one.
Best weed movies is a good question because I feel
That's
like
a
there's
good
one I'm
one.
really missing.
I mean, but there's movies that I don't know if you consider it a
How
weed
High
movie or
was
not.
funny.
How High, the first one was.
How High was funny, man. The first one, yeah.
Um, like, do you consider Friday a weed movie?
Not really. Not really. I mean, you could if you're really clutching.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so. It's like how I wouldn't consider Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas a weed movie. That's more like
No,
a trip movie.
that's an acid movie.
That's
That's
an
an
acid
acid
movie. That's the
trip.
one and only acid movie, probably.
Yeah.
Jesus, yeah, that was wild. Dallas Buyers Club was good.
Yeah, he was really good in that one. He was really good in that. Um, but he was playing off of Matthew McConaughey, who was also very good in that movie.
Yeah, he's another one who I consider like really high level.
He is. He is. Initially
Lincoln
I
Lawyer
thought like
was
he was gonna,
great.
and it's funny we talked about, dude, where's my car? But Matthew McConaughey, I thought that he was gonna be like one of those I can play the southern actors very well. And
Hmm.
that's all that I'm gonna or southern parts very well. But no, he's got some range that I wasn't aware of, as he was coming up. And when he was on True Detective, dude,
That was the one for me where he really. I mean, Lincoln Lawyer was great as well, but True
yeah,
Detective was yeah, that was memorable. That first season is one of the best first seasons of television ever. They're very
yeah,
underrated in terms of where it went.
yeah. No, that one was like I hadn't seen the whole thing until recently. I had never
Yeah,
seen
no,
the
the
whole thing,
first season's incredible. It's like I think it's only like 7 episodes or something,
something
but
like
it
that.
just it just it just feels like a slightly long movie. It had that
Yeah,
feel to it. It didn't feel like it was like a television series that was too short. It just felt like a long, high value production of a movie. Do you know what I mean? It felt like a long AAA movie. Yeah.
yeah. No, it was good.
Yeah, he's got range as well. He really does.
Hmm. Yeah, surprising range. He's pretty good.
Even his little cameo in like we wouldn't really call it a cameo, but even his little bit in Wolf of Wall Street was great as well.
Oh, and that's another one. Like I could watch that movie every day. Like I
Yeah,
love that movie. Love that movie.
I see. I didn't want to put it into my nostalgia movie because it's a little bit too recent for me. But it's another one of those ones, and there might be 20 movies in my life that you can just go back to and watch over and over. It never
Yeah,
loses that effect.
that's one of those.
Is that DVDs or books behind you? They're video games. They're all video games.
Lots of them.
Lots of them. If you go back
Oh,
to the stream we did yesterday, I did a little bit of like a talk about that. But I will talk about it again. Like Side was talking about how I have to do like some kind of game tour at some point, which I'm gonna definitely do on my channel as well.
yeah, that would be good.
I'll do it on
That
this
would
one
be
even.
dope.
Why not?
Yeah. Um, he said nostalgia will be pre 2001.
I guess it depends on how old you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got ITP raid. IT. What consoles? I've got everything from like NES up. I'm more of a Nintendo person, but I've got like a big Dreamcast collection, a big Vita collection, massive Switch and SNES and NES and yeah, GameCube as well. Yeah. Sorry, I'm kind of sidebarring here.
No, you good. You good.
Cheech and Chong Up in Smoke is a
Cheating.
quintessential stoner movie.
That's a classic. For sure, classic. For sure. So you got the ITP raid coming. But where are they going?
Yeah, that's a good question. Where are they going?
um Pre-college. Yeah, well, pre-college, yeah, it's relative. It depends. It depends
Yeah, the
because
full. I think that's what it would be for everyone. I think things that you watched between when you were like 10 and 20 are usually what I would consider nostalgia movies. No PS5. I've got 100 and Oh, sorry, I've got 200. How many games did I say last time? It's like 250 PS5 games, something like that. You can probably see just over my shoulder the ones that have the top white tabs. They're all PS5 games. I've got about 250 PS5 games, something like that.
Bet.
I'm a
That's
man
crazy,
child,
man.
bro. I'm a man
All the
child.
way back to Atari. Dang. Nah.
Atari, I don't have. And I did have an Atari when I was growing up, but like I didn't hold on to those things. I mean, Atari games you can get for like dirt cheap now. You can get
There's,
dirt.
there's
You
no
can still
value in those
collect
things
Atari.
anymore.
No, there's not. You would think because they're like way older, they'd be
Hmm.
way more expensive. But Atari's the kind of thing where you go to a garage sale and some fucker's got like a box of goddamn um like just old Atari games and has no idea. Like you can still find them because it was such a mass produced console. They're
Hmm.
still out there, so it's easy to kind of grab hold of. Yeah,
Yeah.
man, 250. And I've played probably 10 of them, so I'm wasteful, wasteful as fuck. To be perfectly honest,
Yeah.
I'm more
No.
just kind of collect for nostalgia. I'm a nostalgia guy. Do you know what I mean? I kind of just I kind of buy things just for nostalgic reasons, not necessarily to play them because I've got like an emulator and whatnot, and I prefer to play games that way now because it's just more convenient. A raid
Plus, you
by a
can leave them
channel
in
is
the
when
package.
somebody, yeah, it's when they end. What time? Want me to time everyone out here so they can go to the Frankie and Jax channel? Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Money to blow type thing. I eventually got to that stage in my life where I do have a bit more money to blow. I think that's what part of it is as well. Because when I was a kid, I couldn't spend. I used to have to trade games to get more games. So obviously, when I became an adult and got a little bit more money, I was just like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna buy all this shit back."
Yeah.
It was more down to that.
Yeah, they do fill out the shelf. That's true. They do look good on the shelf. As when we first start streaming together and doing videos together, like I always want. I never asked because we just start talking about stuff, but I always look back there. I'm like, I wonder what all that stuff is.
That's the thing. You never asked me. I assumed you just
Nah,
knew. I
nah, I
assumed you
didn't
just
know.
knew
I thought they were
because they are
books.
kind of far enough away in the background where you can't really see. But like,
Yeah, I thought it was just a bunch of books.
do you have the Nintendo glove? I've got like the scope. I've got some of the old like I've got like the old NES gun and the scope. I don't have the glove. I don't have the Nintendo glove.
Man, I remember when the glove came out. Anybody that I knew that had it, I was like, yeah, I must be rich. Clearly, this is a sign that you were rich if you
Yeah,
have the power glove.
yeah. Any household that had the Power Glove was definitely
Rich.
they were doing well. They had the big house and do you know what I mean? You weren't buying a Power Glove if you were on a budget.
No.
No, I appreciate that, Weston. We are gonna try and I appreciate the fact that you're trying to funnel everyone into one place. It is important. Because right now we're kind of at the stage where we're obviously operating from three channels at the same time, which can be a bit confusing. But we're hoping that like all the chat coming to the same place, and that if we're kind of directing people more and more towards the Frankie and Jax channel, that do you know what I mean? It will all just be a case of when we do the Wednesday and the Sunday ones, everyone will just go there. But right now, I think we've only got how many subscribers on the Frankie and Jax channel now?
And we got like 23, 20 something,
I mean, it's
20-ish.
only been open for like a week, but that would
Yeah.
definitely be help. uh,
You know what?
uh,
You know what? That's actually kind of true from what I've seen.
God damn. When I was around 10, 11, I traded in a game called Blood Will Tell to GameStop for around $10. Now it costs over 200. Bro, the inflation in the gaming
Dang.
market now is fucking mental. No, I appreciate you posting a link. I know, Weston, you've got the right idea. You
Yeah,
absolutely do. I appreciate the efforts. 100%. Because you are right. It will be way less confusing when we've got everyone in the same place.
absolutely. And we'll be able to really do polls, like, because it's if everybody's on the different channels, it's hard to do a poll because if I'm going
Exactly.
to do the poll, I'm going to do it in the Frankie and Jax channel. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, that's where I'm going to put it.
Yeah. So if you do it in the because we had that problem last time where we put up a poll and there were people in my channel and there were people in your MMA channel and they couldn't see the
Hmm.
poll. And it
Yeah,
was like, oh shit. What
Yeah,
the fuck is Juneteenth? Can someone explain this to me? I've never heard of this shit before.
that's
When did this
interesting.
become a thing?
Like shortly after slavery, but
Right.
so,
Okay.
but it hasn't like it's just now become like a national holiday. So what happened is, so slavery was ended 1863. So Lincoln signs the thing or whatever, and when it happens, he signs and he's like, all right, go tell everybody, and they were like, all right, we will in a minute. And it took forever. And it took about, so he signed it in 1863. They didn't know in Galveston until 1865. So literally they had been slaves for 2 years extra.
But don't you think it's crazy? Because I'd never heard about this before. Now we're talking about it in the UK now. It's suddenly just become a thing where it's like everywhere.
You know, when people get a day off, they like to spread the love. But like
True.
it's been a thing here as long as I mean my entire life for sure.
How you
Yeah.
doing, Christian? Good to have you back, man. Yeah, no, I was wondering what that was because I was like, I'm sometimes not the most in the loop individual. You know,
It
I
is
live in a
funny to
little
me though.
bubble.
It is funny to me when people like in New York are like, you know, hey, it's Juneteenth, let's celebrate. Like, man, you didn't even know about this.
Any excuse to have a day off and get bombed, I guess. I'm all for that. Like, I'm
Yeah,
all
you
for
didn't know,
that.
bro. Yeah,
Most
most folks
folks in the
did.
US, yeah,
They didn't know.
I can see that.
They didn't know. But like I've known I mean, I'm in Texas. I've known all my life.
Yeah, yeah, that's wild, man. But like I said, any excuse for a holiday, we'll take it all day, innit?
We'll take it.
We'll take it over here, man. I mean, I don't know what it is. I don't understand any of it, but hey, I'll have
Take
another
it.
day off to
Take
go
it.
with my 365 days off I usually get every year. That's all good.
Man, you know, there's a holiday that well, it's not in Texas, it's not in the United States, but I think they celebrate it in Canada for sure. But Boxing Day, like, have you heard of that?
What do you mean by? But do you mean Boxing Day is in the day after Christmas?
Yeah, like
Oh, that's a thing, and that's been a thing in the UK.
like yeah, I know, and we would see it on the calendar and be like, I don't know what that is, because I ain't never seen no boxing matches on that day. But
Yeah, I don't understand the reference point for that either. I don't get that. See, I grew up, obviously I grew up in an Irish family, so we call it St. Stephen's Day, which is more of like obviously a Catholic thing than an Irish thing. And
I think
if you want to piss an Irish person off, call it Boxing Day to their face. They get pissed.
they get mad at that.
Pissed, yeah, they get mad.
And I think Boxing Day has to do. Let me see. Let me read. Oh, it's when servants, tradespeople, and poor traditional were presented with gifts.
So it's
That's
not
where
as
it came
in
from.
boxing; it's in the things were in boxes.
It's in Leftovers Day. Yes.
Yeah, maybe. So yeah, Weston's right. If you guys could click on the link and get over to Frankie and Jax, that would be sweet. Because you're going to see the exact same stream. It's just if we want to get polls up and do stuff like that, it would be much more useful if we had everyone in the same place.
Yes, sir.
For sure.
And everybody
Tupperware.
for everybody that's on Twitter, if y'all want to be a part of the polls and things like that, jump over, use the link. Matter of fact, I'll drop the link on Twitter, and shoot on over to the Frankie and Jax channel.
Yeah, that would be boss. That'd be boss. But I feel like now, after all the nostalgic movies that people have thrown at me, I'm gonna have a busy week catching up on some of these. Because there's some that I haven't watched in a while, and I'm like, damn, I need to get back. Like, I need to run that one. But like 12 Monkeys is a big one that's standing out for me because I'm like, I still don't understand that movie fully. You know, it's like when people say they understand Tenet. You know that movie Tenet?
Dude, I have to
I
go back
still
and
don't
watch it
understand that
again.
movie.
I have to go back and watch it again. Like it
Don't
was.
bother, bro. I don't think there's any way of understand. Like, can anyone say they've seen that movie and understood what the fuck was going on? Because I still don't. Like, I tried to watch it, and I consider myself to be not entirely stupid. I didn't get it.
Yeah, no, that
I
movie
don't get
is.
it, and I'm not gonna try get it. I'm just like, I think Chris Nolan went too far for once. Hey, Crystal, high five.
Crystal made it over. That's what's up.
That's what's up. It would definitely be easier. Yeah, I don't know. Again with 12 Monkeys. It just had that. You know when some movies just have a feel that you just like. It's like with me in Blade Runner. Like I can just slap that on and I just feel like I'm back in the 80s again. It's how I felt with Everything Everywhere. I've seen that shit 5 times and I still don't understand it. That was another one that was like divisive, and the fact that it won so many awards as well pissed a lot of people off. So like, why is it winning so many awards? I don't know what's going on. I do not understand the movie. So 12
It's,
Monkeys is basically about somebody trying to end the world by releasing a contagious illness. They invented a time machine so he can go back in time and stop it. When you put it like that, it doesn't seem that complicated. They should have had you on the team. The thing is, I do understand it from that perspective. There were just elements. Do you know, the thing is, I understood the core concept of it. It's just that watching the movie, things would happen, and I'd be like, I couldn't piece it together in terms of the like. I couldn't understand why something was happening at a certain time. I did understand the overall premise, but it was just like there's just aspects of it where something would happen, and I'd be like, "What's going on here?" I don't know. 13 chickens, my man. 13. Then my lucky 13. Yeah, I do need to. I think I'm going to give it one more go. But you've managed to simplify it beautifully. I'd love if somebody could do the same thing with Tenet because I do not get it at all.
yeah, that movie was, and it was long too. Like
Yeah,
that made it a little bit difficult.
yeah. I'm not a huge fan of Washington Jr. as an actor as well. District 13 was good. I do appreciate a good South African accent. That was another oddball movie as well.
District 13, is that the one with
The Aliens.
yeah. No, I like that movie a lot, actually. It was crazy how it ended, to be honest.
Yeah. The 13th Warrior. I remember seeing that one as well. Antonio Banderas has got a couple bangers in there as well. I do like me some Antonio Banderas.
Yeah, he's good. He's real good. What is it? The movie that he did with the two chicks.
That sounds like every one of
That's
his
it.
movies.
Desperado. Desperado.
Desperados is good as well.
That's what I was thinking about.
Yeah, Salma Hayek, because she's aged really well as well. Speaking of women who still slap, she still
That's
looks great.
top of the line right there.
The thing is with Salma Hayek, yeah, she's got a little bit of a jaw on her, but she works it well. She still looks fantastic.
Yeah,
She's got a bit of a big jaw, you know, like the
does she?
yeah, man.
She's got a Raul Rosas.
You got no, that's not go too far. It's not that bad. When you die, can I give your sword to my daughter?
Whoa.
Is that a Desperados reference? Selma Hayek has the best heavy naturals in the game. Yeah, she aged. Her and Halle Berry for me just aged fantastically. Halle Berry still looks great.
She does. She does. Did you see the movie that the MMA movie that she did? I can't remember the name of it.
Broke something. Hang on.
Something like that.
Bruises. Was it? Hang
Yeah.
on. I think it was Bruises. Hang on.
Pregnant.
Bruised.
Yeah, it started off like
She's
it
not
started off
pregnant, bro. There's
rough.
no way. She's like 60. There's no way she's pregnant.
Yeah,
You're definitely talking
she
bullshit.
better not be.
But if
But
anyone
yeah,
could do it, she could do it. You know what I mean?
yeah, she can pull it off.
She could pull it off. I think she's 50. She's not 60, but still, that would be
No,
some
she might be
achievement.
60.
No, I'm pretty sure she's 50. The Habsburg jaw. That's what I'm saying. She's got a bit of a.
Halle Berry is 57.
Oh, it's a 13th Warrior reference. Halle Berry is inetly pregnant.
There's no way.
There's no way, bro. And I'm
I
saying
agree with
that,
it.
and I mean, you seem very adamant.
Yeah, like you did. Were you involved or what?
Let's see
Yeah,
this.
she was funny in Baps. The person as the co-star, I think she passed away recently too. But Baps was it was funny. It was a funny watch. I wasn't gonna watch it again, but it was funny.
Yeah, I think the Halle Berry and Baps. Yeah, I mean, she stood out in Swordfish for all the right reasons.
Yeah, that was a pivotal moment in society when that happened.
It was. Yeah, that was a great moment for me personally. I felt like I've been waiting for that all my life.
A lot of people were.
Oh, I see. I have the thing. I haven't seen 13th Warrior. Is it worth it? Is it worth a go? I haven't seen it.
I've seen it. I just don't remember it. I know that I've seen it.
See, that would usually be a bad sign, but there's a lot of good stuff I can't remember. Like
Yeah,
I spoke about Sopranos before. Yeah, like I've watched that from beginning to end, and I can remember almost nothing about it. And I know that it was great. I know I really enjoyed it. But I'm like, I don't really remember much about it. Definitely watch it. I'll add that to the list. The next time you speak to me, which will probably be tomorrow, I will have watched 13th Warrior. Because you usually give good recommendations. I give you that. I'll slap on 13th Warrior. I've probably got it on a stick somewhere. Y'all ain't open minded to today's scientific advancements. The thing is, yeah, I've looked into it, bro, and I don't think she is. I know she was pregnant in 2014, but I don't think she is now. Baps perpetuated a lot of horrible story tropes about the black experience, similar to the Green Mile. The Green Mile is another great one as well. It's a bit, like I said, it's a bit of a long one to get through, but it's a beautiful movie. Like I would say, that's one that's in a lot of people's top 20s in terms of like outstanding, achievements and things that are movies that really have an emotional twang to them. The 13th Warrior has Viking Muslims, all kinds of horses. I've got to say, I'm intrigued. I think I'm going to give 13th Warrior definitely a go either tonight or tomorrow. I'll try and watch it before I jump on stream tomorrow. 13th Warrior. I've definitely seen it about, like, I can picture like the movie poster and whatnot. It was just one that I never got around to watching. For sure. But no, I appreciate you all contributing to this one because it's like I said, I just need more stuff to watch. I can never run out of things to add to the list. For sure.
the Green Mile is gay. Um,
Oh my god.
Green Mile is a great movie, but
The Green Mile is one of them movies. Like, when we talked about this before, how what great movies have you seen that you can only watch once? Green Mile is one of them movies where I watched it and thought it was an amazing movie, but I will never watch it again. It's like with Pan's Labyrinth, really great movie, never watch it again.
now I've seen the Green Mile. I don't know how many times. I've seen it a ridiculous amount of times. It's one of those movies that people put on and it's just playing, and then you just jump in and like find something funny and then just walk away. But like, or find something interesting and walk away. Like Tom Hanks, like to me, almost I would say at least 80%, if not more, of his movies are going to be good. Um,
Yeah, he usually doesn't get involved in anything too stupid
no,
or too badly. He's a guy who does his research. He actually reads the scripts,
yeah,
which is good advice for people out there.
yeah, read the script.
And he probably skipped over the Polar Express, but we'll let him have that one.
Hey, the kids love it. The kids love it.
Mm.
Wait.
So I'm reading it. Yeah,
That's what I
I
was
think
about to
we've
read.
managed to debunk your Halle Berry story there. Stephen King movie adaptations are all over the place. The thing is, yeah, Stephen King, yeah, is one of the most remarkable motherfuckers to me because honestly, I don't know how many books this guy's written. I don't know how he has any time off. Like, I don't know how many so they are like hit and miss in that regard. Because I mean, some people don't know, like, the Shawshank Redemption was written by Stephen King. It's a short story. I think it's from a book called Different Seasons, and it's literally a short story that's like, I don't know, you can read it in like 3 hours. But he wrote Shawshank Redemption, and not a lot of people know that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Didn't he write The Green Mile as well?
I don't
He's
know.
obviously had The Shining.
Yeah.
He's had some yeah. Stephen King's written some stuff that he's such a like my God, as an author, he's just a colossus, man. There's a lot of movies that he's directly written that people have no clue that he was anywhere involved, because he's just there, man. He must be writing all day, every day. The
I
amount of
don't know how
material that
he,
guy's produced.
I don't know how he stays committed to a story that long to write it. Like, the way that he writes these stories, like how rich they are and the character
Mm.
development, like that's
And
very
there's a broad
difficult.
spectrum of stuff as well, because he's got he wrote It as well. Martin Luther King, Stephen King. He was also credited for The Lawnmower Man, but it was not close to the short story at all. That's the thing. I think the because I've read the Shawshank Redemption, or the short story, because I read Different Seasons, and it's not. They've obviously expanded it out, so it was more like, it felt more conceptual than anything else. But y'all read any MLK sermons? Can't say that
Mm,
I have.
can't say that well, I mean, I have a dream one, yeah. And that was just a speech, it wasn't a sermon.
Yeah, no, I
But
can't say that I have.
it's not on my reading list.
Nah.
But he was dope. I'll say that. He was dope.
Thank you, I guess.
Yeah.
I'll give him that. Yeah, I'm not going to be digging into that too much.
The Langoliers, yes, I've seen that one.
Is that worth it as well, Crystal? I'm gonna have to add this one to the list, because you seem to know what you're talking about as well. Langoliers. No, I have not seen this. It's probably because it's a horror. Gerald's Game.
Oh, yeah. Gerald's Game is very interesting. Very interesting.
That's quite again. I think it is. We've talked about this before. Yeah, I tend to avoid horror stuff quite a bit, because I'm a bitch. I don't really watch a lot of horror stuff. I'm easily
Yeah,
scared.
and I love
A lot.
horror. Love horror movies.
Yeah, no, I could. Yeah, something I might have to get back into, because my horror movie knowledge is shocking. It's one of the one genres in movies that I don't really know that much about.
Yeah, I don't know. Did something happen as a child to where you were just like, no, I
We
don't.
can get into it. We can get into it. There was so basically, yeah, I was like, I think I was 9, right? And I watched Scream.
Hmm.
And the thing is, yeah, the night that I watched Scream, there was somebody in my area. There was apparently this psycho going around in my area slitting people's throats.
Oh,
And it just so happened that night, as a 9-year-old, that I watched Scream, and then so it just basically. And the thing is that I've gone back and watched Scream since, and I was like, how did I ever find this scary? It's fucking corny and stupid as fuck. But like, obviously, I watched it as a kid, and I was put off horrors for about 20 years after that. So whenever a horror movie came out, I was like, I'm not watching that.
yeah.
But
No,
I don't know who was letting me watch that at 9 years old. But I'm not going to point any fingers. But there was definitely an error.
yeah. Nah, you
The
probably shouldn't.
timing thing was just funny, and I was like, nah, that really shit me up.
You shouldn't have been watching that. I figured it was something that you watched the
Yeah,
script
there
jab.
was a. I was waiting for you to ask the question. I was like, please don't ask the question. I don't want to embarrass myself. It just says it is. It is what it is.
I mean, it had to be something,
I was easily scared as a kid. Wizard of Oz scared me.
bruh. No, I'm gonna tell you what
Uh,
scared me as a kid. Um, the Thriller video, the Michael Jackson Thriller,
seriously,
bro. I
I
was
feel better
scared
now.
out of my
I
mind.
feel better now because at least Scream was out there to actually make you shit yourself. Whereas like the Thriller one, it's like I don't know if that was the aim. Do you know what I mean? I don't think that was the intention.
Yeah, no, I couldn't take it.
Chucky scared the shit out of me. I think I did watch the Child's Play movies. They were. I remember it scaring the shit out of me as well. The original one, the very
Mhm.
first one, that fucked me up. I
Yeah,
watched it and Scream around the same time. It was like a back to back situation. I was like, God damn, yeah. It was one
yeah,
that really fucked me up.
yeah. It was creepy. It was
Like the
creepy.
new ones, not so much. Like I've been able to watch because obviously now you're an adult, like it's different. But like, yeah, man, that I remember that really fucking my shit up quite badly. The original one, yeah. The music, everything. It was just, and it was more like back then when they did horrors. It was more like what they it played on your imagination a little bit more. You know how
Mhm,
horror movies these days are more just like they just overdo the gore, and it's a bit like
mhm.
all right, like it was
Yeah.
more the stuff that you don't see. It was the things they planted in your mind that made you really scared.
Yep.
It was
Yep.
more psychological back then.
Yep. And that's what made you scared to walk around your house at night with the lights off. Is that psychological stuff?
Yeah.
Fire in the Sky. I remember that one. I remember that one. That one was very interesting. A very interesting movie.
Yeah, I think now, like, especially going back and watching those movies again, it's like I said, I saw Scream like 10 years ago, and I was literally like, "This is not scary at all. It's stupid." So it's funny how those it's watching. I don't know what our parents. I don't know because we all seem to be all over the place generationally, but certainly like our parents just let us watch anything. There was no like conversation about should we be allowing this? It's just
Hmm.
like
Pretty much.
yeah, my
Pretty
kids ain't
much.
watching no horror movies. I'll tell you that now.
No.
I ain't dealing with that shit.
But like, when would you like? At what age would you let them? Like, if they're like, I really want to see this movie.
I don't want to be that guy as well though, so I don't know. I think you can only protect them obviously up to a certain point. So I'd imagine like probably when he gets to like his mid teens. It depends on his emotional maturity as well.
Hmm.
You kind of have to judge it like that, or on their emotional maturity.
Yeah.
So I don't know because I don't because the thing is, it's like with anything. If you prevent people from doing something, you kind of push them more towards it.
Hmm.
It's like I got told my entire life, don't smoke, don't do this, don't do that. And as soon as I got my hands on the chance to do it, I was all over it.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
it's
Can you
like I don't
imagine?
know, it's difficult, man. I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that guy that's like preventing. Because like I said, it just pushes people towards stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I've got some difficult things to navigate. You know, being a parent as well. It's just going to be like, yeah, because I haven't thought a lot of these things through. So it's like, I don't know how it's going to get down.
Just winging it.
We're winging
And
it 100%.
so, you want to talk about, like, you're gonna have more to say in this conversation than I am because you have, I mean, behind you, you have all these games, but like
Yeah.
about nostalgic games. Because most of mine are gonna be sports based because that's just kind
Why
of
does this not
what I
surprise
play.
me?
It's kind of what I play. It's what I'm into.
Yeah, because you said you're like a. I mean, you said you play UFC 5, right?
Yeah.
I still haven't even bought a copy, which is weird. I've got every game under the sun. I've got UFC 4, but like I still haven't
Mhm.
even bought a copy of UFC 5. Still haven't played it.
Yeah. I don't know. It's not, you know, it's not a great game by any means, but
Dodgeball is a fire game.
no, dodgeball is classic. It's not a great game, but what I like about it is just seeing the people that I'm watching, and now I can control them and kind of guide their careers and then create a character and do
Do you
the same
notice when
thing.
you're like
I like
punching
it.
people, it doesn't look like you're connecting? That's the part of it that fucks me up. It's like the one aspect of the game that should be amazing, the connection mechanics just don't work.
Yeah,
It's like when
it's tough.
people are punching it, and when they transition into and they get on top of each other, it all looks a bit like, I don't know. It doesn't look like it's like they're connected. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? They're hitting. And I would think that's the one aspect of the game that you really have to get right.
yeah, it's tough. Like just the whole mechanics of it is difficult, but they attempted, and I can appreciate it.
Yeah, they gave it a go. It will eventually get better, I guess. But I
Yeah,
know I know games on N64 that had better connection mechanics than that. Like when I
I
used
think
to play No Mercy back in the day on N64, it looked like
yeah,
people were slamming each other and whatnot, and we're hitting with landing with punches. I don't understand how they managed to fuck that up so badly.
yeah,
It's
they
crazy.
I don't know. But the problem is they don't come out with it often enough. Like
Mm.
they'll, like they just dropped UFC 5. When they did, they're not gonna come out with another UFC game for another few years. And it's like,
I thought they were releasing them yearly,
no,
kind of like
mm,
because it's EA, right?
yeah,
EA fucking suck, bro. Yeah, fucking embarrassing. But no,
well,
in terms of
hopefully,
nostalgic games, you can go on about we got into this last night as well. You can go on about that all day because it's a similar thing. It's like it really depends kind of what you're into. Like I
yeah,
played a lot of like I was more into single player games. I didn't play a lot of like I wasn't really a major multiplayer guy. So I was mainly into things like RPGs and stuff like that. So I was more into like my Resident Evils, my Zeldas, um, you know, like Metal Gear Solid, those kind of games. I played a
hmm
lot of Mario's, I guess, as well. Um, the kind of typical ones. I mean, we spoke about this yesterday on stream. I would recommend to anyone if there's a. We were going to talk about like there's in terms of games that I play now. The game that I get the most hours out would be Hades and the recently released Hades 2, which is like a beta version of that game. It's perfect for my age because it's like you can just pick it up and drop it for 20 minutes, but it's like the gameplay is amazing, the story's fantastic. Like they've just and like I said, it's something you can pick up because it's one of those run through games where you basically you have a run through on levels and then you die and then you go back to the start. But then you've added stuff to your do you know what I mean?
hmm
You add different experience points and you can add to your weaponry and all that kind of stuff and you learn more about the lore and all that kind of stuff. But it's a game you can just pick up and drop. So if you're somebody who plays games regularly, I would recommend Hades 2. It's really good. I go for
what
that one.
what what do you play that on? What console
I
or
play it on the
system?
Steam Deck.
Oh, Steam Deck. Okay.
Yeah, so like you can get the original Hades is one of the best games I've ever played, and you can get that on everything. You can get it on PlayStation, Switch. You can get it on Steam, obviously as well, and it's
hmm
cheap. The thing is, that Hades 2 is $15
Dang, that's cheap.
now, and it's literally like you can get endless replayability out of it. No, they should not bring esports to the Olympics. That would be fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, no.
Esports is not the fact that they call it sports is fucking ridiculous. They are not. I don't even have to say
So,
they're not athletes. Let's not even go there. It's horrible.
no, yeah, they're not. But no, NCAA 25. It comes out in July, and I've already reserved it, so I will be playing it for sure.
What is the series of NCAA games? Is that
It's college football. That is
college
the
football?
best, in my opinion, the best. It's better than Madden.
The
And it,
old Maddens I liked,
like what
but the new
happened,
ones haven't been as good.
like they just you can only go so far with these things, but like the thing is they aren't progressing. Like they've kind of gotten stuck. I feel like the game hasn't gotten better since 2000, since 2020. Honestly,
Mm.
hasn't gotten better. It's been kind of recycling the same game, maybe add a couple of features, but same game. Don't get me wrong, I buy it, but but I'm not happy when I buy it. Is what I'm saying. But I get it. I play that, and of course, I play. Um, um, uh, well, I play Madden. I play 2K. I
Mm.
get that every year. I have to. It's
Yeah, the
just
2K
standard.
games. I played. I think the last 2K game I played was probably 2014 or 2015. I used to do the create your own character and just play as one person.
Hmm.
That was the one I was into,
I
which
do
is
both.
tough to do.
I do both. Um, and like what me and my brother do is when he comes over, we'll just do a fantasy draft, create our own team, and
Mm.
then we'll play. Um,
Does it get nasty where someone tries to stick the controller down up someone's arsehole when they lose? Do you get that in your
no,
house?
like you know what, like with me and my brother, like we don't really talk a lot of shit to each other. We
Mm.
really don't. We never really have. We're extremely competitive,
Mm.
but I mean, we just don't do a lot of talking. Now to other people we would, but like to each other we really don't.
Yeah.
Um,
With sports games, you can't really go wrong because the good thing about them is like again, it's that pick up and play aspect. And when you get to a certain age, sometimes you just want to jump on, have a game or
yeah.
two,
Hmm.
and just get about your day. Whereas now, I still love Final Fantasy, for example, was a series that I always loved from a young age, and they're still releasing games now, but I don't have time to sit there for days on end, um, and get through like a 100-hour game. It's
Yeah,
just not
it is tough.
feasible anymore.
It's tough, but like I mean, I play every day. Like when we get finished with this chat, I'm gonna jump on GTA for sure. Like I play
I
every day.
still, I, s- I still can't believe you're running that. I mean, I know they've continued to expand it, but I imagine when GTA 6 comes out, you're going to lose your shit. Because I'm definitely going to
Absolutely,
jump on it as well.
absolutely. I am gonna lose it, and I mean, I'm gonna lose my shit when NCAA comes out too. Um,
Mm.
like I'll be off that day. I won't. I probably won't stream that day.
Fair play.
I'm gonna be consumed. Like that's a big deal for me. Like uh Tats is saying, like it's dude, it's an elite game, and it's been gone for 10 years.
Mm. I feel like when GTA 6 comes out, we can get a community thing going and get everyone in that because it's a
Me and
game that
my
you can play with like 50 people, right, or more.
dude, me and my son
Get
have been
everyone in
talking
there.
about possibly doing a channel for GTA 6 for real. Like
Imagine
it's a
if it's
big
like
deal.
FIFA was gone for over a decade. Yeah,
Yeah,
football game, football games or soccer games, as a lot of you Americans will call them, have been terrible for years. They used to be the mainstay of I used to literally have 15 people over to my house and we'd all just be smoking weed and taking turns and it would get nasty.
mm.
That was a very competitive situation. Like people get pissed. Like friendships were ended by that shit.
FIFA is so fun. I love
Mm.
FIFA, and yeah, there's been some holes in some of the games recently, but it's just like the other ones. It's almost like you kind of have to get it,
Mm.
you know. And honestly, for like a lot of the I'll call it soccer. A lot of the soccer that I know, they have a farming game, and I have it farming simulator. But for a lot of the soccer that I know, it comes from playing the game. Like that's how I would know who's good on all these teams because
Yeah.
it's not like I'm getting it all the time, you know, on television.
It is a good way of gauging it. By the way, Matcha, if you want to play a good farming game that's not a serious farming game like Farming Simulator, Stardew Valley is really good. And you can look at like Harvest Moon game series was always pretty good back in the day. But yeah, Stardew Valley is like a cartoony farming game. It's really good. So jump on Stardew Valley. It's cool. It's a really good one.
Tats, you gonna use the Gators? Like I always get a terrible team. I always get one of the worst teams on the game and try to build them up.
That's where the fun comes in. It's like
Yeah.
have you guys ever played like management games where you basically play as the manager of a team and you build them up? That's the fun in
Yes.
it. You pick the shittiest team you can find
Hmm.
and then you cheat your way to glory. That's how you deal with it.
Yeah. Like I mean, even on like FIFA or something like that, like I try to get a team that's in the lower division and try to,
That's
you
what you do,
know,
and then they win the
yeah,
Champions League, the league every year.
yeah.
That's what you
And
do.
then by the at
Yeah.
eventually they are the most elite team in the
Ever
world.
historical team, yeah, that's what it is. 100%, yeah. But no,
Yeah.
I'll give NCAA a try because I do enjoy I did used to watch American football and I do understand like I'm one of you'd be surprised how popular American football is over here.
That
There's quite a
that
big
always
fan
shock me.
base. Is there a dice game?
I'm sure there is. I'm sure that there is.
If there's games for everything these days. It's tactical rugby. Mm, we've had debates about this, about whether American football or rugby is more dangerous, because obviously people seem to think that in this country that American football is less dangerous because you wear all the gear and stuff. But it's
Bro,
like,
I
nah,
think
bro. Like
rugby
the
is. It feels like
clattering.
it.
Which one do you think is more severe?
It feels like rugby is more dangerous.
I don't think no with American football though. Like the contact you guys are allowed to do to each other is next level though. You're not really allowed to do that in rugby. It's
Hmm.
not the same because obviously there's no protection. So it's like there's a you let your son play Roblox. It's a good question about what age you should let your kids play gaming, because I think it develops a lot of skills that are like underrated.
Hmm.
If you're getting them playing the right games, the thing is, if you're going to get your kids to play games, you should play them with them. That should be the only time you should, especially when they're young.
Yeah.
Just play games you can play with them so you can supervise it. Because if you let them run free and just give them games and you don't know what they're playing, that's when it can get a bit okay. Like it becomes a waste of time then, because kids will naturally drift towards shitty games that I mean, I remember like um there was a situation where like my eldest daughter, she was playing this mobile game, where you can buy add-ons,
Hmm.
like clear the shit up, like, one of those I don't know, it was like a character game or whatever. And she literally one day I got a phone bill of like £900 for a month
Yep.
of her
Yep.
just carelessly buying fucking clothing for this character.
Yep. I've had multiple children do that to me.
Fucked up.
Yeah. It's the worst. It's the worst.
I still
Wait,
kept the receipts for that one. When she gets her first job, man, pay me back. I was like,
Crystal said that there's a rooster falling asleep in her lap.
yeah, she's doing farming reality as opposed to farming simulator. Crystal's another one who's got a great channel as well if you're into that kind of stuff. Like again, like very like I wouldn't say it's a new channel. I don't know how long it's been around. If you want to get little farming tips and see like little ongoing goings on that go on in the farm, check out Crystal Miller's channel as well.
For
I
sure.
feel like we've got like loads of just like we're just gathering creators in the chat. It's crazy.
Oh, wait. Tats, I didn't know you go to Florida. You go to Florida? I didn't know that.
I love farming shit.
Those like Farming Simulator is a dope game. It's an acquired taste, I think, because you got to understand that you actually have to do a lot of this work, to get this thing to be successful. But it's fun, man.
So Tats is in UF.
I did
Shit.
not know that.
Well, I
I
knew
didn't,
Tats was in Florida. Yeah, I knew that.
but I didn't know that
It
he
makes sense
went
that
to
you're a
Florida.
student there. Yeah.
That's
What are
what's
you
up.
studying?
Have you gone to a Florida LSU game yet? I'm assuming that you have. Florida LSU games are lit. They're insane.
Like I said, the view that we have of Florida over in England, it's like it's everything crazy about America dialed up to 11. That's what we hear about Florida. I don't know how true that is.
Um,
You're a
that
political science and history major. God damn, we're gonna have some conversations, bro.
yeah, we can take this a lot of different ways, man.
Yeah.
Um,
I did poly and history as like my A levels. Bang on that stuff.
see, I knew it. But
Florida must be a great place to live though. I've heard it's very exciting.
Florida's cool. Hurricanes though, you do get hurricanes depending on where you live, so that could be a
Yeah,
problem.
I'm not too keen on that, to be honest. I'll let that go. I'm used to the mild British weather where basically nothing happens here. We get no earthquakes, no torrential, nothing. It's just very meh. Like it rains a lot, but that's about it.
Yeah, is it like I've always? I mean, at least for us, we always think that it's just gloomy looking over there. Like it always looks
It
gloomy.
is, yeah. It's kind of like a payoff though, because we don't have any weird animals as well. We don't get any like big spiders or like snakes or any shit like that. So we're like, there's no snakes in the country really. You get like you might. I've seen one like little bitty grass snake in my entire time in England. And that's it. But what we get is Sweet, yeah, we'll definitely check that out. Crystal Miller's channel is great, and she confirmed that she is in fact a female, which was, you know, when people say they're females online, it's like, nah, there's no females
Yeah,
on the internet. They don't exist.
yeah, it's true.
I was
But
like,
no, it's true.
I think it was
Hard to
Matchboy that said that yesterday. I was like, there's no women on the internet, or maybe it was Aaron. I can't remember. There's no
say.
females out there. Nah.
Hey, CJ jumps in here from time to time, so she's clearly
Yeah,
a
that's true.
woman.
That's true. Yeah, he's never gonna let that go.
The black woman is at that.
He was asking Woe Black Betty to post foot pictures yesterday, and I'm like, that's a 6'4" white dude. It's
Like,
like,
you
no,
about
we
to
don't
get
want to see
some,
that.
not the feet that you expected.
I think he's 6'2". Yeah, it's like that's not the nah.
Yeah, he's a big dude. I wonder where his name came from.
He mentioned it. It comes from shit. It was from a character or something. He'd have to confirm that for me, but he did address that. WPP is an ebony goddess. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh,
He's
man.
gonna love that when he comes back in. His name came from the song. That was it. I knew it was something. I knew he did address it. Like we talked about it on stream at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's definitely addressed that one.
Yeah, I gotta mod him too. So Western is modded, Aaron is modded, Matto is modded as well.
And so is Aaron as well. I modded Aaron in my I modded Aaron in my channel
Yeah,
recently. Western's modded everywhere. He's probably the
he's
king
like
mod
super
of YouTube.
Yeah,
I've got a running theory that Western's an AI. He's just
he
laying
might
the
be.
groundwork.
The dude is like everywhere all at the same time. He probably jumped to another chat and he's gonna be back. That's probably what happened. Like the dude is everywhere at the same time. I was doing a test on the channel, like when we first had it going, and he popped in.
He was popped in there instantly. Yeah. It was a test that we did, wasn't it? The first test we did when we were going to go live for the first time.
That time too. It was another time. He just popped in. He was like, "Hey, what are y'all doing?" I was like,
60 seconds. What the fuck you guys up to? Like, oh, goddamn. Like, wow.
like, dang.
Quick to it. That was fun though, because it did obviously help us to answer some questions. So first of all, can you hear us? Can you see us? So that was like helpful. For sure.
Oh yeah. So it's a blue song. Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, my channel is a weird one, man. I don't really get the I'm very hit and miss with the notifications because I get a lot of people coming in saying I didn't get a notification. It happens, man. It's weird.
Oh, you
Not
know
consistent.
what? So let me see if I can pull this up. I know we talked about this a few weeks ago, but we never really got to dig into it. But like, I'm curious if y'all are gonna watch the Olympics. Because you know what, like the Olympics, for at least for me, but at least everybody I know, it's a big deal. Like, you know, we find whatever sports we're into, and we're gonna watch it. As you know, it's track and field stuff for sure, because that's the sport I did. So, or one of the sports I did. So it's a big deal. But like, I'm curious, like, is that something that y'all are into at all? They got breakdancing in the
Yeah,
Olympics.
see, that's the thing. It's all getting a little bit too obscure for me. I haven't watched the Olympics in like 12 years. And I used to be heavily into it as well. I used to watch everything, especially the gymnastics. Different reasons. I was a young man. I was finding myself. I used to watch that. I used to watch the gymnastics. But no, if I don't know, it just feels like it's not. I don't know. I just kind of fell out of it. I don't really watch it anymore. I think basically since when Usain Bolt kind of went off the scene, I think that was probably the last Olympics that I watched.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was literally the last time. I can't remember when I was. That might have been in 2000, wasn't it? Or 2004 or something. It was a while ago. So it might have been longer than 12
I think his
years.
last Olympics was 2000. It might have been 16 was his last one,
Mm.
or maybe 12.
So maybe it
Like,
wasn't that long ago.
so here's the Olympic sports right here. So I'm gonna tell you which ones. Tell you which ones that I will watch. I'll watch archery for sure. I'm not watching artistic gymnastics. You know, it's when they run around and they have the ribbon and they do that. Like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, fuck
Artistic
that.
swimming, nope.
What the fuck is that?
That's like
Is
synchronized
that like
swimming.
synchronized swimming? No, that's fruity.
Yeah,
Pass.
yeah, nope. Athletics, that's all the track stuff. So obviously watching that.
Yeah, athletics I
Badminton,
get. Badminton's alright to watch.
that seems like it's
It's
a
very
very
fast.
hard thing to play competitively.
Yeah, no, I've played a lot. I've played a lot of badminton, and it's a tough sport. Like it seems like it should be easy because it looks like sometimes it's going fast and slow. But it's like no, you need to be really, really quick to play that game.
What's the thing called a birdie? Like, yeah, you don't know where that thing is going. Like, it's weird.
It's called a shuttlecock.
Is that what it's called?
Mm.
Yeah.
I remember it because it has cock in it. Clip that up.
Clipped.
Can't help myself. When I swear. What's this
Basketball.
basketball? What's this basketball 3x3? What the fuck's that about? You mean literally 3-on-3? Yeah.
Yeah, 3-on-3, half court.
And do they have like a half court?
Mhm.
Okay. All right. It's getting out of hand now. I think
will
that's the thing
say
with the Olympics with me. It's just there's too many weird stuff going on. It's like everything's in now, and they don't, and yet we still don't have MMA.
I kind of don't even want MMA in there, be honest. I kind of don't. Like, nah, I'm good. For basketball and in the 3-on-3, like I'll probably I'll wait until it gets to the end. You know, as long as the US is in there at the end, then okay, we'll pay attention. If they lose early, it's just an embarrassment, and I can't watch
Well,
these other.
that's never gonna happen.
You never know. You never know. But not with the team that they're taking. Like, come on, they got Steph Curry, LeBron, KD. Like, how can you lose? Beach volleyball. I do watch beach volleyball.
Oh, I do watch beach volleyball. Again, that's for perverted reasons. I like the outfits. Strictly female beach volleyball for me.
Boxing. I do not watch Olympic boxing. I
No,
don't.
knockouts are quite rare, aren't they, as well? I suppose
Very,
when you're
very
wearing those
rare.
head guards, they're very rare.
And that's another reason that I wouldn't watch Olympic MMA. Because they're gonna make them wear headgear. Can you imagine doing MMA with headgear? How weird that's gonna look.
Yeah, it would. I still think there'd be knockouts though.
Maybe. Breaking? No, this should not even be here.
What is
Why
that?
is this here? It's breakdancing.
Why?
I don't understand it. Who lobbied for this? This is not.
This is what I'm talking about. This is why I can't be fucked with the Olympics anymore. I'll just be honest with you. It's just stupid.
Like, this is silly. Canoe slalom. That's a very hard thing to do. I'm not gonna watch it, but that looks hard.
Yeah.
I did that on a video game once, and it was very difficult. Canoe sprint, also very difficult. Oh, Paradox is up in there. That's what's up.
Yeah, don't forget to mod WBB on this channel. Have you done that already? How you doing, Paradox,
I
bro?
haven't yet, but I will.
Paradox was another guy I got into this as well. So yeah, we're talking about the Olympics now. How you doing, Side?
Yeah.
Drifted back in. Yeah, I was watching
Canoe.
Paradox play some UFC 5 earlier on, funnily enough.
Oh,
He's another guy who's got he does game streaming on YouTube. It's pretty
for real?
entertaining.
That's what's up. I'm gonna check it out. I do like some UFC 5. Canoe sprint, not gonna watch it. Cycling, BMX freestyle, probably not. Racing, nah. Mountain biking, nope. Cycling road, nope. Got the Tour de France for that. The cycling on the track, though, that one is actually entertaining. I like that one, especially when they when they fall. It's so funny. Shouldn't be, but it is. There goes Betty. Man, Betty Maxwell was saying some very nice things about you. um, let's see what else we got up in here. So, oh, they called it football for you. They called it football, so that's legit, I guess. Golf shouldn't be a Olympic sport. That's stupid. Um, Handball. I don't even know what that is. That like field hockey? What is handball? Do y'all know what handball is? Uh, he probably lagged out. He'll probably be back. Um, Judo. That's cool. That's cool. What's up, Chris? Marathon swimming. Somebody's gonna die. I don't know if they should be doing that. Um, Modern pentathlon. Of course, you gotta have that. Rhythmic gymnastics. That's stupid. Rowing. I guess. Rugby. I love women's rugby. Women's rugby goes hard. Sailing. I mean, I guess if that's what y'all want to do. Shooting. Nope, not gonna watch it. Let's see. Oh, you were in Paris last week? Doing what? Man, I appreciate y'all jumping in from the ITP raid, man. That's what's up. I don't know where Frankie went, but I'm sure he'll pop right back in. You know, it's super late for him. What's up, man?
Hi, milk.
Oh, go ask mommy. She'll get you some milk.
No, daddy.
Go ask mommy.
No, daddy.
Go ask mommy.
Not mommy.
Living. That's what's up. Let's see. It's you asking about what's going on this weekend, the fight this weekend.
Daddy.
Let me take a look.
Milk, daddy.
Because I haven't placed a old crazy wager like y'all have. I can't get you milk, bro. Anyway, um, let's see this weekend. First of all, Robert Whitaker should be knocking out Ikram probably by round 3. I don't think Ikram's gonna last. I think that Ikram's good though. I do think that Ikram's good. I think that Frankie thinks that Ikram is trash, and I don't think that. But I do think that Rob is way better than him. Way better than him. But my question is, if Ikram loses, does he, depending on his showing, let's say he lasts to the end, right? He fights, he loses convincingly, but doesn't get knocked out, doesn't get finished. Do you think that even in a loss, he cracks into the top 15? I think it's possible. And I do think that he's good. Oh, he said he crashed out. Let me see. Let's check out this card. Have y'all already made y'all's parlays for this thing? Because I know Frankie's making a old weird parlay with people's suggestions, and y'all gonna lose him a bunch of money. That's what's gonna happen. Let's see. Let me check this card out. Yeah, I think it will be a competitive fight, maybe, until it isn't. I watched a little bit of one of Vikram's fight. I can't remember who he's fighting, and I didn't realize how loopy his punches are. His punches are all over the place, and you can't fight Rob like that. He will figure you out, and you will look like an idiot. Let's see. Let's look at this card. Let's go. I'll just start right here. you're right. Joe Soto did get ranked after that. But you know what though? About that Joe Soto thing, I brought up that in ITP's chat the other day. Um, I do think that Joe Soto was kind of the wildest person to bring into a fight, just kind of like off the couch. Out wasn't in the UFC at all, and they brought him in, and he fought for a belt, and actually did good for like a round and a half until it went downhill for him. So Joe Soto, I mean, after that, he kind of came back to earth and found his way out of the organization where he probably belonged. But for about a good few months, he was a good fighter. Yeah, it was a couple days' notice. Like that was bizarre, man. Um, so Frankie,
Yeah,
while we're in it, like they were asking about picks on the card for this
yeah.
weekend.
I've already got some parlays going. Actually, I'm still gonna do the Friday one where I get the chat to do a to pick another parlay for me. But it's I'm liking there's a few underdogs on this one. I really like the look of.
Hmm.
How you doing, everyone? Sorry, I got kicked out there for a second. Um, Nicholas Dalby's one I'm looking at. I think at plus 300 or whatever you can get him for now. I like the look of him. Um,
You don't think that
there-
Renard is very good, do you?
no, I do. I really do. Like, I mean, his wins aren't amazing. Um, certainly before he came to the UFC, but I think he's like generally quite skilled, and he's somebody who can get people out of there. He's had some decent wins in the UFC, but the fight he had against Aleski dos Santos really concerned me because like after that first round, he was fucked.
Hmm.
So I don't know, and I feel like somebody with Nicholas Dalby, who's got really good cardio and is hard to finish. I can see that being one where he gets stomped on in the first round. Like I can see Dalby getting fucked up in the first round, and if he can get through that, I can see him taking over and winning rounds 2 and 3. The thing
Yeah.
is with Renat for me, I do think Renat's the clear favorite. I get it, yeah, but there's no way I'm putting him on at minus 300. There's no way after his last performance. He absolutely gassed out hard. Um, I also think Volkov's a decent one as well. I have a strange feeling he's going to get it done. It's more of an odds thing for me. I'm kind of looking at so I put I know that so yeah, I've got Volkov, and so I did a 3-leg parlay where I've got or a 4-leg parlay where I've got Jackson from Bellator.
Hmm.
I've got Nicholas. No, I didn't put Nicholas Dalby in. I put Volkov, Hack Parast, and there was another one as well. Hang on, let me just double check what I did. Oh yeah, and obviously and Robert Whitaker as well. I think Robert Whitaker is going to be Aliskerov. Aliskerov is the one who I don't think is that good.
That's the one. Okay.
I think Aliskerov's overrated, and I think this is a massive jump up for him. Aliskerov's beaten nobody good, really. The only notable person that he's fought is Hamzat Chimaev, and Hamzat Chimaev fucked him up
Yeah, he
in
did.
the first round. I mean, I know they went to war for like 2 minutes, but he got smashed out. I don't take too much stock in that. The Naimov fight's going to be interesting because Felipe Lima's is Felipe Lima who he's fighting, yeah.
Yep.
That's an interesting one as well. I know
Um,
Felipe Lima's coming in there on short notice, but
he is. I kind of go with old beard back here. Um, Naimov,
because Naimov will cheat to eat. It's that old saying, and if you're not cheating, you're not trying,
and he's trying a lot because he's cheating
and
a
he's
lot.
trying real hard.
Yeah, he will cheat. He will
Yeah,
cheat.
no, the Pavlovich one for me is like the reason why I'm kind of going for it is like I just think that he's way. It's just because of the odds. If Pavlovich was like minus 150, I'd probably go for him. But getting him at minus 200 or 225, I think is a bit too wide for me because I think if it gets out of that first round, I like I like Volkov to take over. I just think he's more well-rounded. And
Yeah.
Shotgun's got a good point there. I think Aliskerov was getting outstruck by Phil Horse before he caught him. So I don't see him being able to step up against Whitaker. And again, it concerns me as well that he was obviously supposed to fight last weekend. So he was in the middle of a cut and then he got pushed to next week's card. So he's got a cut twice. Have you seen? Yeah, Pavlovich. What? To be
He
honest,
looks
yeah, I
massive.
made my pick for Pavlovich yesterday, and then I saw those images on Twitter this morning, and I was like, shit, man, I might have made a mistake here. He looks fucking swollen.
He looks huge.
He looks massive.
Let me see if
And
I can
Volkov
find
is
it.
he's got quite a weird body type for his size. Do you know what I mean? He's a bit weirdly I don't know.
Yeah, he's
It's
an
weird.
odd looking dude, but he's
He's a
good.
white boy and he's jacked to deal with it.
But my thing about Volkov was he just seemed very reluctant to take the fight. And I feel like that reluctancy is going to factor into the fight because, you trying to fight somebody who you view as a training partner, a friend, and then you are pulling your punches. And
Yeah, I
I
think it
don't
has
think that
more to do with
Pavlovich is
that.
going to have that. I don't think he's going to have that mindset. He's going to end up
No,
getting
Pavlovich. I
shamed.
don't think Pavlovich really. I think when I see that Volkov is talking about more about them being friends than Pavlovich is,
Yeah,
which is an interesting side. I don't
Pavlovich
think
don't care.
Pavlovich really sees it that way.
Nope.
Yeah, it's
I'm
an interesting point about the USADA thing though, because it's like it's all a bit weird. It's all about a bit up in the air now. He is suddenly looking extra yoked. I mean, he was always a big dude, but like he is looking extra yoked.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, I
So
wonder
I
what
don't
that's
know.
about. But this fight right here, this Nasrat Hakparas and Jared Gordon,
Mm.
I was kind of surprised they made this fight. I feel like Nasrat is like considerably better than Jared Gordon. I view Jared Gordon almost like I view maybe a little bit better than um what's that fool's name? I can't remember his name, but Jared Gordon to me is not on Nasrat's level. Not even close, to be
I feel
honest.
like Jared Gordon's riding that "I got robbed by Paddy Pimblett" train. He's ridden it to death because if he'd won that fight, he wouldn't be getting he still wouldn't be getting the fights that he is now. I think it's one of those ones where people just still like that shine is rubbing off a little bit. You know, it's like that's basically what he's known for, getting robbed, and that's why he's
Yeah.
got more fights on that Russian stake.
I
The
mean,
thing is, it's a
and
great card. It's a great, and I'm in a bit of a weird situation here because I'm going to be live in the crowd watching a crappy Bellator card trying to get a signal. That's what's going to be going on for me. I didn't realize yet that these two fight cards lined up at the same time. I thought I was landing the Bellator card on the card that happened last week. I thought I timed it perfectly. This is an
what
interesting
time does
one.
it go on? What time is the Bellator?
It's the same time. It's on at the same time.
Like in the middle of the day? Well,
Yeah.
for us.
Well, it starts at. I think both cards. I think the UFC card starts a little bit earlier. The prelims do.
Mhm.
So I think the UFC card starts at like 5 p.m. my time, and I'll be going to the event at Bellator at about 7. So by the time there's definitely going to be a big overlap for sure.
Yeah.
But you see, I'm kind of wondering if I should just if I should just turn up for the main card because I'm literally not going to give a fuck about the prelims on that Bellator card. You paid to go see Bellator. Yeah, I know it's crazy. It's because it's in Dublin, and I'm obviously from Ireland, so I figured it was a good excuse to get back over there. And it's because Jason Jackson's fighting. I'm a big Jason Jackson fan, so I figured this might be the one opportunity I get to see Jason Jackson on this side of the world.
What's that trip like to get there?
It's nothing. It's a 45, 50-minute plane ride. Just
Yeah.
wait outside the venue. They'll give tickets. I'm telling you, you can still buy tickets for it now. You can still buy front row tickets for like 20 quid probably. It's bad. No,
That's
but
crazy.
Irish fans are very lazy when it comes to buying tickets. Like they usually wait until the last week to kind of pick stuff up. So I'm not
See,
even sure who's on the rest of the card for the Bellator card. I know that obviously Jason Jackson's fighting, and that's about it. I didn't even look
I
at the rest of the
saw
card.
it and I was like, I don't know half of these people, I'll watch Jason
That's
Jackson.
just a Bellator thing, and who knows who any of them are most of the time. Like it's yeah. But I figured I'd go and have a nice night out in Dublin and just because like I said, Dublin crowds they're good to they're very knowledgeable fans, and it's good to be in a. It was mainly because of that. If it was a Bellator, because Bellator was in Newcastle like a couple of months ago, and it's way easier for me to get there. And I was like, nah, I'm just not feeling it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but as soon as the opportunity came to get an excuse to go over to Ireland, I was like, yeah, I might as well. And Jason Jackson, I was like, yeah, that's two good enough reasons to jump over there. So I thought, why not? Did you see Metroid Prime 4 got announced? That game's been in the works for a long time, bro. I'm almost over it. It's gonna be good when it comes out. I mean, I love Metroid games; they're great. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna play that when it comes out. It's gonna be a sick one. Metroid games are always top level, and I don't mind that they take their time, I guess, because they always turn out to be good. Daniel Rodriguez and Calvin Gastelum. This is another one I'm very confused about because like Kelvin Gastelum should technically be better. I don't think Daniel D-Rod's a very good fighter, but Kelvin has not been doing very well lately. He's looked terrible.
Yeah, this is a loser leaves town match, in my opinion.
It's gotta be.
Whoever loses should be gone.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know. Yeah,
D-Rod was ranked.
he
D-Rod was
was.
16-0 at one point, wasn't he?
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if D-Rod beat him. It being at welterweight again is kind of because Gastelum still looks fat at welterweight. I just can't understand it.
I think he just carries body weight, at whatever weight. He could drop down to
And
lightweight.
D-Rod's not
still look
exactly a
pudgy.
svelte welterweight either.
No, he's not.
He could probably get to lightweight as well.
No, he's
So,
not.
so as a matchup perspective, it kind of makes sense. I get why the UFC did it. It's like, who could we match Kevin Gastelum up with, who's equally doesn't take his nutrition and his body type as seriously? I know, we'll go. That's where it came from, surely. Kelvin said it himself. It's a loser leaves town match. That's a depressing thing to think of.
That's bad.
We've been saying this for a while though on this channel. Like, they should make that official. They should just have pink slip matches where it's like, boom, like we will pay you double your show money, but if you lose, you have to fuck off. Like contract terminated
Immediately. Like, go back, grab your stuff, and walk out of the building.
That
You don't
would
even get
be
to watch
as
the rest of the
exciting
episode.
as. And they literally, instead of handing them a belt, they hand them the pink slip and just point to the exit. That would be as exciting for me as a title fight. Sniper in the crowd takes the loser out. Calvin carries water weight like a woman on her period. Calvin is just like, I would 100% sign up for that.
Yeah,
I know it's a bit cruel, yeah, but fighting's cruel. It's a cruel sport.
it is, man. I
What do
mean,
you
but they
mean?
know that. I mean, anybody that loses that many in a row, you know that your job is on the line. You know
That
that.
would be a sick concept. If I ever started an MMA organization, I would be all over that. It's a missed opportunity. Tony Paddy should have been a pink slip match. The thing is, it's still. I know they've obviously massaged Paddy in, but it's amazing to me. I mean, how many fights has he had in the UFC? 5, and he's won all of them. And I know he's been fighting scrubs, but
Yeah, somehow he sneaks out with
yeah.
these wins.
As soon as Calvin came out with that on a mission for gold thing, his whole career's just gone down the toilet.
Yeah.
So as
He
soon as
almost
he
got
said
me.
that, it was like an instant.
He almost got me though. Like when I watched some of his stuff, I was like, okay, maybe he's serious.
I never believed him.
And then when he got in there, I was like, when I saw him, I was like, you ain't serious.
He absolutely peaked in that Adesanya fight.
Yeah.
Has cake him back. This is the thing. He's just Tony. The thing is, they're never. I don't think they're ever gonna fire Tony Ferguson. He's gonna get that BJ Penn card, where it's just like on a mission for gold in Bellator. 100%. Kelvin Gastelum, like I said, he just peaked in that Adesanya fight. He had that war with Adesanya that he could have won. Their two careers just went in a completely different trajectory at that point.
Yeah. Oh, I do remember when Kelvin posed with the belt, and he even wore it out and sat in the front row with the belt. Well, I think it was Henry Cejudo's belt.
It was Henry
He did.
Cejudo's belt. Yeah, it was. It was. I was thinking, which fighter's belt did he borrow?
Yeah, which
Yeah,
makes
it's the MMA. He
I thought
pissed
it
the
was gonna
MMA
be a
gods
lot
off with that
smaller,
one.
but it was actually regular size.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like that was a that was an embarrassing career ender right there. Like he essentially shot all over his entire career when he did that. He's had nothing but horrible luck since then. But the thing is, there with Kelvin Gastelum, yeah, I've got very little sympathy because he's a fat fuck.
Well, he
Like
had one lucky situation. One lucky situation.
he clearly doesn't look after himself that well. And the thing is that it's not a thing of like where he's got like demons where he's drinking. It's a food thing. It's clearly a food issue.
He loves it.
You
He
can't get
loves it.
enough. So I'm
Now, I
like,
think that he did luck out in that Chris Curtis situation. I think that he lost that. I think that he
how you
lost
doing,
that.
J Dog? Did you cringe when Meatball Molly grabbed a random belt and walked around the cage of it after that? Not after her. Molly
Yeah.
McCann is I despise that. I despise that woman. I really do. I'm kind of hoping as an extra 304 treat because I didn't realize she was on the card until after I bought the tickets. I would love to see her get smashed out, but the problem is she's being put in there with somebody really horrible for the exact opposite to happen. Because there seems to be some belief in the UFC that Molly McCann is popular in England. She's not really. And I've told you, yeah,
Yeah.
people from Manchester hate people from Liverpool, so she might actually get booed.
That would be
We'll
crazy.
see.
That would be so confusing for her.
I'm gonna be booing. I don't know about everyone else. I'm gonna be loud enough for everyone. She's my favorite women's MMA fighter based on entertainment. I just find her personality awful. Molly was the fucking co-main event in the O2. Yeah, like
Yeah.
there's a belief here that she's popular. I don't think that's true. It makes UK fans look terrible. We don't like her. It's just,
Yeah. I remember asking you that question. I was interested to
nah.
see.
I think Paddy's relatively popular, but Molly helps UFC corner the slag market. Yeah, yeah. That pretty much sums that up. Yeah, that's the thing. There is always a finish in a Molly McCann fight, though. Like she's either getting finished or she's finishing. You can give her that, and there's usually
Yeah.
some, you know, there's usually a spectacular element to it. So we can give her that
It's
for
true.
sure.
You know what, man? I was talking to CJ last night, and like she really doesn't like women's MMA. Like it's very interesting, and
She gets it.
I'm always like, well, but what about? She's like, no, no. But how about
I particularly love her contempt for Rose.
Oh, she hates Rose. She hates her. Hates her. Hates her.
Yeah, when I went after Rose in that live stream, like I thought she was gonna die choking from laughing at the way I was jabbing at her. Like, yeah, that went hard.
Yeah, yeah. I'm a Rose fan, but I understand. I
Yeah,
understand the slander. I understand it, and I don't have a lot to go back with. She doesn't give me any ammunition to fight back with, so I have to just
yeah,
be
that's
quiet
true.
and take it.
I like Aaron Tatz's take here as well. I think if they made it like a top 10 and also if they added atom weight, I think that would help a lot as well.
Yeah.
If they made it like a top 10, the talent pool in women's MMA is not strong enough to have a top 15 in any division.
No, yeah, probably so. Probably so.
I think that's, or you could get for a Dagestani woman, you could get like a transgender situation going on. You just get one of those lads to slap on a wig and jump in there and I would pay to watch that. Just watch a dodgy looking Dagestani woman jump in there and just destroy everyone. Just mow through every division. I'd pay for that.
Wait,
I'd go
hold
for
up.
that. I would.
Wait.
I'd go for that. And the thickest husband. Oh, Match was sounding more like me every day.
You're rubbing off.
I think they're doing it to keep the feminists off their back. Other than that, they ignore it, and women don't even watch it either. I think there's a surprising amount of women that watch MMA, to be honest. More than you
Yeah.
would think, but less than they think there is. There's an element of that going on.
2 belt. Wait, you think Makayev is going to get 2 belts? Like, you talking about UFC belts? Or are you talking like replica belts? Like, he can probably purchase one with, something like that. I
I
can
thought you were talking
appreciate
about
that.
going to some kind of like the Gucci store
Yeah.
and buying a couple of like.
Yeah. Not actually like winning them.
That's a good point. They watch MMA, they just don't watch women's MMA. That's a very good point. I'm with you there in both lightweight divisions. Yeah, you got me. You got me. That's another person I'm paying to hopefully see get beaten up on at 304.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Oh, Red Thing, you're getting
Dude.
wild now. That's a wild statement right there. That would be the. Oh my god, because that's probably the first person Bilal will call out if he beats Leon. Like,
You
Chiesa.
know how many things have to happen for that to happen?
It could be like when Bisping won the belt off Rockhold. Because Bilal's going to be calling out people that you're just like, what? he ain't going to be calling out no Shavkat or no JDM. Hell no. You wait for Michael Chiesa to get that win and he'll call him out.
Yeah. I do remember that when Cejudo was trying to fight Valentina. They even faced off.
Who?
Like, Henry Cejudo. He said something about Valentina. I mean, they were probably joking, but they did a face off and everything.
Yeah, that was definitely a joke. The best thing I saw on Twitter today was Mike Perry doing his wearing his Burger King crown. That was hilarious. Did you see that video?
Yeah, I did see that. Oh, he's so cringy.
I loved it. I loved every second of it. How would you guys feel if Anthony Smith goes up in weight? I mean, he's on the path, isn't he? I mean, he looks more and more tubby every time we see him.
So that's something that we haven't talked about. How do you feel about the because it's interesting, after Oberg won, Anthony Smith was something that came up in in conversation. So how do you think, like, what do you feel about the Anthony Smith Carlos Oberg fight?
Personally, for me, like, I think it's a better fight, and that should have been the natural progression of where Carlos Ulberg went. So when that fight got cancelled, I wasn't that upset about it, because like it was a weird one, yeah. Because I thought, how I felt about the Jamal Hill and Khalil Roundtree fight. I thought it was fucking ridiculous. And then they obviously replaced it with Ulberg, and I was like, actually, the Ulberg one's a better fight, because I think Ulberg's more dangerous potentially than Khalil for Jamal Hill. But I was still like, this is a massive jump up for for Ulberg. But I think Ulberg and Smith kind of make sense. I agree with people that are saying, though, I think if that fight hadn't happened, we would have seen Smith versus Reyes next. And we're probably going to get robbed of that now.
Yeah.
Because Ulberg is going to fuck Anthony Smith up. That's going to be a first round KO. I might even prop bet on that one. I think he's going to smash him out.
Yeah, I do wish that we got Smith versus Reyes. I think that was a more reasonable fight. But for Carlos, like, I felt, even though, yes, this is a more natural progression, but I felt terrible for him because of the opportunity that he lost. The ability to jump, up there with one fight, if he could beat Jamal Hill. Not saying that he would have, but I do think that
It
fight
felt
was
like a
a lot
free
closer
shot.
than people think.
It felt like a free one, like, because I think if he lost to Hill, it wouldn't have set him back too far.
Yeah,
But it was an opportunity to jump straight in there. But then, and he, like I said, he was willing to do it. But the Anthony Smith fight makes more sense in the rankings. I think
it
Smith's
does.
actually ranked higher than him, right?
He is one spot up.
Yeah. Yeah, so it makes sense. I mean, like, from that perspective, I like, it's fine. But I just don't think it's going to be competitive. I really don't. Especially, we've seen what happens to Smith when he jumps off the couch.
Yeah,
We've seen what Smith when he goes for we've seen what Smith's like when he goes for a full fight camp. So
Yeah.
against somebody who's young and powerful, I think it's going to be brutal. I
Now,
think it's going to be
granted,
a first round chin-in.
we did just see him against somebody young and powerful.
Petrino's not that good though. And we've seen Petrino go to decisions with people that he shouldn't done. I mean, he went to fucking decision with the Pleasure Man, who's awful and a creep. So like, I was never that. So I mean, I thought Petrino was all right. I was never that sold on him. Like, I wasn't that surprised. I was kind of surprised when Smith beat him, but I wasn't like, oh my god, there's no way I saw this coming.
I
It
was
was more like,
surprised.
oh,
I
like
was surprised, but I didn't think it. I mean, it didn't like knock my socks off. It was
nah, it
just like,
wasn't
okay,
like
Anthony
overly. I
Smith
wasn't
needs to
overly
stay around for a
shocked.
little while.
Whereas if he beats Allberg, I'll be genuinely shocked.
Yeah.
I don't even want to I don't even want to get into Khalil because I think he's awful. Like I've said it many times, and Jax, I know you're a fan of his, and I still can't understand. You've still given me no discernible reason as to why. I don't get it.
I like his Muay Thai style. That's really what it comes down to. I like his style, but did I think that he was going to be Jamal Hill? I don't know. It depended more on Jamal Hill than it did on Khalil. But we'll know. We won't know for a while because I don't know when he's going to be
Yeah,
ready
that's
to
that's
fight.
the thing. Like what Side is saying is exactly it. I think Allberg is like he's got that ruthlessness, and when Anthony Smith faces those kind of guys that aren't tentative, they go for the head. I don't like this for him. I think he's gonna get smashed out.
Mhm.
Red Thing is definitely going for the He's going for the controversy angle or the wild take angle. You were talking about Khalil. Khalil is I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get
Oh,
why people think he's good. He gasses out very quickly. He's got very little inactivity in there, and he's a one-trick pony. If you just stay away from one side of him, it's a overhand and a couple of kicks. That's all he's got.
the
I think
tats is
he's
not high on
shit.
him either.
I think he's shit. The fact that he's not, like I said, Smith jumped in there with 2 weeks' notice, and Smith is horrible when he does that. And it took him until the third round to get him out of there. And he was getting touched up a little bit by Smith as well. I think he's horrible.
Smith will stand long, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens with Khalil and see if he actually belongs up here. I'm curious what they're going to do when he comes back from the 2-month situation.
The weirdest suspension I've ever heard. That's not even a slap on the wrist.
Like
That was bizarre to me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know the situation, but with it only being 2 months, it feels like they're saying, "Okay, we know it was an accident. We know that it was a supplement that was tainted, but we got to do something. So we're gonna give you 2 months."
It's weird.
That's what it felt like.
It's weird.
We'll see. We'll see.
But to get back to the original question, I do think this is a better. I do think it's not a fight that like I didn't feel like the card suffered too much from losing Hill and then getting Anthony Smith as a replacement because here's the way I saw it. Yeah, if you like when Connor dropped out, which is a fight that I never wanted anyway. I'm like, all right, Connor and Chandler are gone. I'm not really that bothered. And then we got Alex and Yuri, which is going to be a banger of a fight. I know a lot of people are pissed off about that being the replacement, but it's going to be a barnstormer of a fight. And then we got Ortega and Lopez as well. And then as a side thing, we got. So I actually thought like I was one of quite a few people who thought the card improved significantly, and that it kind of helped that happened. Like this whole Connor fuck up has just helped the whole situation entirely. Like it's way better.
Yeah. No, I definitely like the fact that this fight is there instead of the Connor and Chandler fight because the fight just didn't mean anything. It just meant nothing. Like
It's
it was
it's also the
cool.
amount of time that it's taken to happen as well. Like they've been talking about this fight for what a year? It feels like about a year and a half.
Mhm.
It's hard to care anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with Tats. Like I can't believe that they chose Chandler in the first place. It made no sense. I think it's mainly because I've said this before as well. I think it's just because they think that that's a person that Connor can potentially beat, and the UFC really wants Connor to get a somewhat notable name who's very beatable for him.
Yeah.
and it's hard to find people like that. It's the only reason why Chandler still he's only got 2 wins in the UFC. He hasn't fought in 2 years, and somehow he's still ranked 6th.
He should not be ranked.
He's just still there just to give Conor like, we can put him back in the mix now.
Yeah, he should not be ranked at all.
100%.
Somebody was mentioning Nikita Krylov. I heard that he got killed in Ukraine also. I hope that that's not
true?
the case, but I don't think
I think we would have heard about that.
Yeah, I don't think it's true, but I have heard that.
It could just be that he's in. It could just be that he's in Ukraine.
Yeah, I really,
and that's
really
why
hope
he hasn't been fighting. That would be wild, wouldn't it? Imagine that.
Yeah, that would suck.
Because I mean, the UFC would have been obligated to come out, regardless of the whole political thing with it. They would have had to come out and say something. If he was dead, that's definitely bullshit.
Yeah, and also they'd have to remove him from the rankings.
More importantly, yeah. That's crazy.
No, that's true. Chandler and McGregor are 2-6 in their last 8 fights. Yeah, it's true. When was the last time Conor won a fight?
It was Donald Cerrone. I mean, fucking hell.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I like Krylov a lot as well. I think Krylov's really skilled. He's had 1 or 2 dodgy losses along the way, but like he for me is at that pack that's just outside the top 5. I think he's good enough. Like, I think I'd like to see him and Rakic maybe, assuming he's not rotting somewhere in a Ukrainian ditch.
Yeah, Rakic, he looked good for a little bit against Yuri. He was looking really good. And then Yuri just walked through his shots, and then Yuri is going to end up having a Tony Ferguson type of meltdown at some point.
Yuri.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the way he fights, though. He's definitely he's gonna go on a Dominic Reyes. I think a Dominic Reyes type run, where he's just gonna get chinned out a bunch of times. Roundtree versus Rakic wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah.
It makes sense ranking what you've got to put Rakic going back now.
Yeah.
He's got to fight somebody from and I think he'd beat Roundtree comfortably.
Yeah, I think he would win that fight. I think that's when the size part would definitely take because Rakic is longer than he is, and I mean the dude, even in the Yuri fight, even the loss, he showed the type of power that he has. And if Yuri just didn't have that, special needs chin, like he would have got knocked out too. But he's different. He's different.
It's kind of I'm kind of interested to know what people think they should do with Ankalaev as well, because I don't think he should get a title shot. I've been getting shit on this on Twitter for like the last several weeks here. I don't think he should be getting a title shot. I really don't. I think they should torture him and make him fight one more person. Because he's a bruv. Like, all you've got to say, is in the last 2.5 years, he's had a draw with Yan. He should have got DQ'd with Walker, and then he went in there and fought him again. But he's basically, in the last 2 years, he's fought Walker twice, and one of them should have been a DQ.
Yeah.
And he's telling Alex when to fight him, which is wild. And congratulations, exactly. And congratulations, you beat Johnny Walker. Who hasn't? Johnny Walker is the ultimate meme of getting knocked out. Like, he's the guy who's like, he's probably had the most viral knockout. Do you know what I mean? On both sides. But mostly for being the guy who gets knocked out. Ankalaev versus Firing Squad. Yeah, I don't get why this guy thinks he's just entitled to get a shot. It's crazy.
Yeah, he's definitely acting like it. Like, he acts like he's the champion. Like, no, I don't want to do this. No, I don't want to do that.
No, you'll come to Abu Dhabi in November. That's when we're gonna fight. And it's like, fuck you, man.
Yeah, I don't know who you think you are.
Yeah, it's a weird one. I think he should be made to fight again. I think if you sit out for that long, and again, the wins that he's had have not been that great either. I'm not even saying that he's not good. He probably is like a realistic threat to to Alex, but I don't think he's at the stage where he's like, yeah, he deserves it. Like, fuck that, man. The thing is with Walker, yeah, they're gonna keep him around, yeah, because he's fun. He's fun. It's like with Tai to Ivasa and people like that. They're
Mhm.
not really in any real danger of getting cut because they bring that excitement level. It's like they're gonna get in firefights and they're gonna either get knocked out or knock somebody out. And you
I
keep
don't,
those guys around.
I don't know if they would run this fight back. I don't think that they would because of how ridiculous it was. But Ankalaev against Jan Blachowicz, nah. And
I,
I think Ankalaev should win that fight this time because Jan,
yeah, he would.
like you said, Jan is falling apart.
Yeah, Jan shouldn't really be fighting again because he's had bad shoulder injuries on both shoulders. He's had major reconstructive surgery on, so he basically had the same situation that Yuri had, but on both shoulders.
Yeah, yeah. I think he should call it
And he's
quits.
41 or 42 now. Yeah, he's again somebody who really, I mean, he won the belt and he beat Adesanya, which you know, so he's gonna have a memorable career, regardless of when he stops. Yeah, and has beautiful eyes. Ankalaev got dropped by Thiago Santos. Hill beat Santos better. Yeah, I wouldn't mind Hill versus Ankalaev. I wouldn't mind that. That's actually a
Yeah,
realistic one to get made. I can see that timing wise happening towards the end of the year. Because I honestly
I will
think that
wait for it. Yeah,
I think if Alex Pereira beats Yuri, he's gonna look up to heavyweight,
I wouldn't be surprised.
potentially. Or he might just give Ankalaev the fight in October or November, and then if he's definitely gonna go to heavyweight if he wins one or two more at light heavyweight.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
Alex might have a good chance against John Jones. This version of John Jones, maybe. But I
This
think
version, maybe.
I honestly think John Jones would just grab him and drag him down and just choke him out.
That's what he's gonna do.
Mm.
That's what he's
I
gonna
think
do.
I think he'd stand at distance of him for a minute and do exactly what he did to Cyril Gahn.
Yep. Hmm. Yep. And I think it'd be over fast.
Yeah, I said this yesterday. I'm kind of hoping, yeah, if Stipe was the guy, yeah, if he was really that guy, I wish he would just come out and pull out of the fight with John Jones and say, "I'm not fighting John Jones," and then I want to see what John Jones would do in that situation.
Go sit right by Stipe. Like, well, if you're not fighting, I'm not
No,
fighting
I'm
you.
not fighting too. I'm retiring now. That's exactly what he would do, isn't it? Yan is probably on a fat contract now, so it's hard to stop fighting. Yeah, I imagine Yan's probably getting 500,000 to show. And at his age, when you've got very little very little left, you might as well try and get one or two more in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he won't beat Tom, but I'll tell you what, the paradox here, the reason why he should go for the Tom fight, he should go for whoever has the heavyweight belt, because nobody would expect him to go up to heavyweight and win, but if he somehow manages to win 3 belts, you're talking, he enters the GOAT conversation then.
Immediately.
Now, I don't think he would be the GOAT if he did it, but the conversation would be there. To walk into the sport and basically be there for 4 years and
Yep.
to beat five former champions in 2 years, which he's already achieved, and then to go up to heavyweight. If he somehow managed to pull it off, for him, it's worth the risk. Even fighting somebody like Tom,
Yeah.
which would be a very hard matchup for him. I think Tom would destroy him, but I
Yeah.
would
Tom
take
would
it.
work him. Tom would do whatever he wants to do to him. But
I'd take
Tom
it though.
just can't stand with him too long in a comfortable space or comfortable range. Because if it's in a comfortable range for Alex, then now Tom puts himself in danger. So he can't let
The
his
thing is though, I
ego
don't know yet
get in the
because
way.
Tom is a legit 260. He's not like a small heavyweight. And
No, he's
Alex
not.
is never going to be like a filled out 260.
No.
So I think he could stand with him. I don't think Alex. I mean, I know Alex. People say, and I'm a big Alex fan. I don't think he would hit the same on Tom as he did on people in this weight class. I don't think so. I think Tom could stand with him, but he wouldn't need to. He'd grab him and bundle it because his boxing is amazing.
Tom does have great boxing. But I'm saying, like,
for a heavyweight.
Why do it? Like, why? If you know that you can beat him, in another way, why would you even
Yeah,
stand
why
there?
would you do it? He would literally bundle him down and it would be the same. He would be very similar with John Jones. I don't think Alex would do well at heavyweight, but I 100% think he should do it. Because the thing is, yeah, the way that the internet is now, yeah, people are literally saying he shouldn't be on the he shouldn't be this high on the pound for pound rankings just because he lost to Adesanya, which is crazy to me.
That's bizarre.
It's crazy. Like beat the guy 3 times.
Yeah.
I've said this enough about this week. Like that's been my main arguments I've been having on Twitter now. They seem to be Alex Pereira and Ankalaev related for some reason. About people coming at me hard, but like like you've got to try. If you're Alex, you've got to give it a try
Yeah.
because he's got nothing to lose. The fans are always going to be like, "Well, you lost to Izzy. You got sparked out by Izzy. So why not go to heavyweight? If you get sparked out, it's not going to do anything bad for his legacy, really, because people are going to expect for him to get sparked out. But if he wins, my God,
Yeah. There's
and
nothing
he's
wrong with
earned
taking
it.
a chance.
If there's anyone in the UFC right now that deserves to go for go up another weight class and have a go at it, it's him. The short notice fights, the doing it like the wins that he's had.
Hmm.
I think the UFC would give it to him.
Yeah, I think so. See, I'm sleeping on Alex Pereira's grappling. No, no, I'm not.
Well,
I think,
there's been some footage of him training with Kayla Harrison and trying out like hip tosses and stuff.
yeah, I saw that. That's cool, but that's not going to help you against Tom.
Yeah, even if you got a shot at it, he'd be propelled into one of the greatest in the sport ever, and certainly in what he's done in the short space of time. Because people shit on his grappling, but it's a really unfair argument to make. He's not. He's only been an MMA fighter for 4 years. Of course, his grappling shit. He was a pure kickboxer for his entire career, and to go for me, what he's done winning those 2 belts and kickboxing, the two biggest, like the biggest kickboxing organization in the world, and then to come and get you 2 UFC belts as well within 10 fights in 2 years or 11 fights or whatever it is crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah,
No one's going to ever do what he's done, I think.
they're not going to allow
Again,
somebody else to do that.
probably not. Probably not. And the thing is, it's a weird thing because obviously the fact that he had this association with Adesanya is what propelled him into this
Hmm.
situation in the first place.
Yeah, like he
So
had
I
to
can
check
see
a
why he
lot of
keeps saying
boxes.
his name.
Had to check a lot of boxes for this to happen. Like a lot of
Mm,
things had to kind of fall his way, and he's just taking advantage of it.
he fully has, yeah. I'd like to see him go for it. That's why as much as I love Yuri, I want to see him. I want to see Alex win this fight, and I do want to see him fight Ankalaev as well, just because, just so people will shut the fuck up about it. And then it all lines up. Tom hopefully beats Curtis, and then when he gets upgraded to full champion, there's no one really else apart from Gan, who I don't think deserves a shot either. He deserves one more. And Lucas Almeida, not Lucas Almeida. Well, Almeida called him out for Paris, right?
Hmm.
Gelson Almeida.
Yeah.
They should make that. Fuck Gahan, man.
If it's up to Cyril, he's gonna say no.
Cyril thinks that every fight he should be in, win or lose, should be for a belt. So if he loses the next title shot, it would be like, well, I'm gonna wait for the next time. He just thinks he should be in title fights for the rest of his career now.
Yeah, it ain't like that.
It ain't like that. But yeah, fighter testing their limits is what I value the most. It's the same thing. And Alex is the penultimate, like, that is just who he is. Like, Cyril's gonna call out MMA Joey. Tom Aspinall grappling and Alex Pereira grappling are the same level of grappling. They just use it differently. Tom attacks with it, Alex defends with it. No, the thing is, Tom Aspinall has like a wrestling and grappling background. That was his main go-to before he was. Tom's being seen as like this stand-up guy now in the last 4 or 5 years, but since he's been in the UFC. But his training was all in. He's high level at grappling and jiu-jitsu, whereas Alex is nowhere near that level.
Yeah.
Tom has that background. He comes from a gym where he that was his main go-to in the early part of his career. That was the go-to. It was his grappling that kind of where if you watch early Tom Aspinall fights, there was very little throwing hands. He
Yeah.
would virtually go for takedowns almost immediately in most of his fights, and that's how he ended up with his 3 losses. Funnily enough, because he got clipped. His dad was the first BJJ black belt, and that's what I'm saying. It's not even his wrestling's that great. It's his skills on the ground are fucking crazy. This is why everyone's so high on Tom Aspinall, because he's the first legit middleweight where you can look at him and say, "Yep, he's got everything. He's got everything to him."
Yeah. Yeah. He's elite.
You don't get that in heavyweight. So yeah, been hanging out with me little sister. Yeah, Tom's been grappling since he was 5 years old. That's what I'm saying. It's crazy. It's like there's levels to it. I honestly think he would destroy Alex Pereira in a round. I'm not even saying Alex should go up and he'll win. He'll be a triple weight champion. But it's like as Tat said, man. Like even if he gets the opportunity to fight for a third belt, because I don't even think that's happened before, has it? No
Nope.
one's had the chance to fight for a third one even.
Mm-mm. Nope.
Do you think Ortega and Lopez is going to go to the ground at all?
Hmm.
Oh, that's a good question. Because the thing is, yeah, Ortega's got a great chin. I know he got beaten up by Max Holloway and he's had some beatings in his career, but he's got a great chin, and I think Lopez is going to want to, as much as he's saying, "Oh, we're going to find out who the best BJJ guy is." Lopez is definitely going in there to try and knock him out. So I think it
I
depends.
think it does go to the ground. I think it'll go to the ground. I think that Ortega's going to be the one that tries to get to the ground.
Ortega's better at BJJ, definitely.
Yeah,
I watched a lot of Ortega's fights in the regionals, and he's obviously improved a lot since then. But I think Ortega's way better at BJJ. But I think what's made Lopez suddenly propel into something special is because he's realized he's got knockout power, and that's his avenue to success. He's basically got to catch Ortega and put him out and hurt him. I have a feeling Ortega's going to win this fight.
I think so. It
I
would
want
be
Lopez.
interesting if Lopez wins, but
If Lopez wins, he's right in the mix.
and they're gonna want it too.
Oh, they want it badly.
Boy,
They want it badly
Mavzar would be so upset.
because he'll jump over Movzar as well, won't he?
He sure would.
He would, which would be hilarious. I think it will hit the ground. I think if it hits the ground, it's Ortega all day. I listened to the True Geordie podcast, and it makes me sense why Thomas is as good as he is. He talks about his dad making him work on simple footwork. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That was a very interesting interview that they did because it was very insightful in terms of looking at how Tom came up. Are you aware of the True Geordie, Jax?
I'm aware of that channel or whatnot, but
You don't watch much of it.
I haven't seen that interview.
Yeah,
Or
that's a good one. It was insightful in terms of that for sure.
I'm gonna check it out.
But having said that, I do think that Tom Aspinall, the prospect of him fighting Blades is it's more scary for me than most people are admitting.
Well, Blades is good, man. People sleep on how good he actually is. I mean, I think Tom should win, but Blades has a path to victory. He's not gonna get in there and get washed.
Yeah. Do you think I'm kind of wondering about the Max and Ilya fight? I do think it's going to happen. I think it will be one of those because they're going to market it as a belt versus belt. They can't miss out on that opportunity. It will be the first belt versus belt match in UFC, even though obviously the BMF isn't an actual title. They'll market it like that, like it's the first time when two belts are genuinely up for grabs. Because they've obviously had situations where the featherweight champions fought the lightweight. We've had champions fighting champions before, but we've never had a situation where both belts are on the line in the UFC. Belts,
a winner takes all type of fight.
Yeah. I think they'd be missing out on a massive opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
And the fact that Volk is talking about fighting other people, like he said, he'd throw his hat in the ring to fight Poirier at the end of the year, and that kind of stuff tells me that the UFC is veering away from doing that rematch.
Yeah.
I think it's
Give
going to be
Volk
I
some
think they'll do
time.
Holloway and Ilya, and I think they'll do it in I think they'll do it towards the end of the year.
Holloway versus Oliveira. Again, it's a rematch. Oliveira got hurt in the first one, um, but for what? Like,
Well,
I
the thing is that
mean,
you could classify Oliveira as a BMF. Like he falls into that category.
sure,
He's
yeah.
that kind of guy. You could make that, but
I mean, people will
I'm
watch it. It'll be a
certain they're
big
gonna
fight.
do. I'm
But
certain they're gonna do him and Ilya. It's gonna get enough, and I'm not too keen on it because, like I said, I don't want to see Holloway going back down to 145 again. I want to see him. I'd rather see Holloway and Oliveira at 155 than Holloway and Ilya at 145.
yeah, I
Kind
mean,
of.
I would rather Holloway stay at 155.
If they did it at 155, I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Him and Taporia.
Hmm.
Holloway wouldn't do that. I mean,
He
I
basically
say
just be
wouldn't.
defending. He just be defending his
Yeah,
BMF belt, and that's it.
yeah. He's like, nah, I want the other belt. I already
Yeah,
got
no,
this one.
I think they'll do it at 145, and it will be a winner takes all situation. It is gimmicky. It's stupid. It's stupid, but they, for some reason, a majority of the fan base seem to think it's worth something, so they're gonna roll with it. But I'd love Holloway. There's a lot of fight. It's like what Jax was what you were saying about wanting Holloway to beat Gaethje that bad because you could literally put him into so many matchups now. There's so many
Mhm.
things you can do with Holloway.
Yep.
You could do Holloway Makachev. You could do Holloway Ilya. You could do Holloway Oliveira. There's loads of fights you could put him into, but it seems to me the one that makes the most sense is him versus Ilya at 145.
Yeah.
It just does, and it's mostly as well, yeah, because I don't want to see Volkanovski jump back in against him too. I think Volkanovski should have another fight end of the year when all the cobwebs are cleared. He's had a chance to train and then show that he's got something back, and then go for it again because that rematch is always going to be there for him just because of what he did at featherweight. He deserves a rematch.
Hmm.
So yeah, I like that.
So you
But
saying
there's no
that
go ahead.
Volk should fight again at or fight somebody else at featherweight?
Potentially, yeah,
But
potentially
who?
you could do Evloev.
Yeah, I mean,
Mostly because the reason why I want that fight is because I just want to see Evloev get chinned. And I know that Evloev would stand, you'd have no chance with him in the stand up, and you wouldn't be able to get Volk down and keep him down. And I just want Evloev eliminated because he's coming to the UFC. He robbed fucking Arnold Allen. And he's basically won every single fight he's won has been a decision. And it's been
Mhm.
awful. So I just want him Volk versus Aljo. I wouldn't say no to that either.
um, man,
Guess
that
it's
would
not
be
the best fight you could make, but I wouldn't be pissed off with that.
it'd be a big fight. That would suck for Aljo. Gosh, that would be.
Yeah, yeah. I think Volk would kill him as
It
well.
would. That would suck for him.
Yeah, shotgun. That's why I'm like, just put him in there with Volk as a Volk tune-up fight, and just let Volk chin him out and throw him out of contention forever. Because I don't like Evloev being anywhere near the belt after the run that he's gone on. Yeah, no. The thing is, it wasn't even a grounded situation. Mark Goddard fucked that entire situation up. Allen should have won that fight. 100%.
Yeah,
Apparently, yeah. They're talking about Emmett and they were talking about Emmett and Lopez for a while.
yeah, I did hear that.
Emmett's a weird one, yeah, because even though he's I imagine Emmett's a fight that a lot of people wouldn't want to take because he's not ranked that highly, but also he's fucking dangerous. You don't get your stock risen too much if you beat Josh Emmett because he's had losses, but at the same time, there's always that danger that because he's got real scary power at that weight class. Yeah, I'm with you, Tats, on this as well. Like Volk was firmly in my goat convo for a while. We had a conversation about this yesterday, and I don't want to see him get battered as well. I'd rather see him have a winnable matchup first to see that if he's still got it, and then we can talk after that. Yeah, I don't want to see Volk go out like that, getting like coming off 4-5, not knowing when to stop and getting battered a few times. I don't want to see him go out like that. I'm 100% with you on that. Yeah, again, paradox. I don't think you're wrong. I wouldn't be upset with the Aljo and Volk matchup. I just think there's other things you could do with him. I think with Aljo you can. I wouldn't mind them doing Aljo and Evloev as well, as boring as that would be.
That's the one I want. Just get that over with. Cancel one of those dudes
Just
out.
get one of the wrestlers out of there.
Yeah.
Exactly though, Aaron. I would ruin him right now, and I'm 37 myself. Again, there's loads of things you could do with Emmett. Emmett's one of those guys. He's in a very weird spot. 'Cause I think he's seventh, and he's had losses against guys above him. I mean, he should have lost to
Yeah, he's
Qatar,
seventh.
but he's lost to a few guys. You can't put Emmett in there with a top 5. But yeah, I'm genuinely scared for him. Like the way he looked in that Ilya fight, like I never thought he'd ever go out like that. I thought Volkanovski it wasn't feasible to knock the guy out. So I'd rather see him, like I said, just put him in there with somebody like Evloev, have him fuck him up, and if he looks really good, then you can maybe, again, 6 months after that, maybe get him into another title fight or whatever. But I'd hate for him to get in there with Ilya again and get chinned out. I'd hate that. I hate everything about that. Emmett versus Ige 2 after both their KOs is actually a really cool matchup. Yeah, I don't mind that either. Have they fought before? Have Emmett and Ige fought before? I quite like Ige as well. I'd probably favor Josh Emmett in that matchup. But Ige's another one who's got an ironclad chin as well. Yeah, he beat Dan Ige before in a unanimous decision. I wouldn't mind seeing that again. You think Evloev beats Volk, bro? You're definitely talking bullshit. Yeah, Ige's tough as nails, man. He's tough as nails. Ige's a very tough guy to finish. Really tough guy to finish. I wouldn't mind seeing that again. They might as well, because they're both lower down the rankings. It was controversial. I wouldn't mind seeing that rematch. Definitely not. I'll take that. I wouldn't mind doing that. Featherweight's kind of, again, it's in a weird place as well, though. It's not as bad as the situation at lightweight, but there's some sorting out that needs to be done in that division for sure. And Ilya needs to get into a fight soon, because it's the whole situation with him starting to get a bit annoying as well. Just book the fight with Max and get that done, and then let the rest of the division sort of sort itself out.
Are you talking about Ilya hoarding the belt over there?
Yeah, being very greedy with the belt. Yeah,
he is having a world tour.
Yeah, I don't blame him. Listen, guys, I'm 145. 55 best in the world is about to take over UFC. If you want any light people reference. Yeah, fair play. I just don't like that. There's a lot of divisions that are in a lot of limbo right now. It's kind of funny that like middleweight seems to be the most, where there's the most options. And welterweight's really stepped up. I would say middleweight, welterweight, and bantamweight are the divisions to watch at the moment. Because it feels like there could be movement in any of those divisions. You could get a new champion in any of those divisions.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely a transition going over. I mean, bantamweight's just way overstacked. It's incredible how stacked bantamweight is.
Yeah.
But I think welterweight's good as well. Because at least welterweight's not that stacked from top to bottom, but at least you've got JDM there, you've got Shavkat there, you've got potentially MVP, you've got Gary. There's fighters you can see getting into that are viable title contenders moving forward. Whereas in featherweight, there's virtually nobody.
Yeah.
You're 37. You're almost as old as me, bro.
You getting there? Let's see. That's a great synopsis right there. He said middleweight, welterweight, and flyweight on the up. Bantamweight is great. Lightweight and featherweight are on the down, and light heavyweight and heavyweight. So that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that pretty much sums up the whole
Pretty
situation.
much it.
That pretty much is it. Yeah, you nailed it. It's taken you 4 seconds to type up what we've been blabbering about for about 2 hours. So good for you. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I'm still cheesed off about this Adesanya rematch, but if he gets chinned out, I'll be very happy.
Well, we know it's not going to happen. He's gonna.
No,
we don't know that's not going to happen. It's possible. It's possible.
I'm noticing that a lot of people are, because I know that Lucas Tracy's spoken about it. I know that MMA Guru's talking about it, and I'm not sure if they're trying to cope. But a lot of people are picking DDP. I don't see it.
I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's a bad pick.
I don't see it.
Bad, but I just think that
I really like the odds on Adesanya for that one as well. He's only like a minor favorite.
Okay. Yeah.
He's like a minus 150, I think. I mean, you've got to take that. You've got to take that.
Yeah, I think that
in my opinion,
Izzy walks out with that belt, 3-time champion. But if DDP
like that,
wins,
that guy's made me miserable so many times. I don't think he's done doing it. That's my feeling. Like, I didn't want him to beat Costa. I didn't want him to beat Whitaker. I didn't want him to beat Romero. Like every fucking time. I didn't want him to beat Alex the second time. You can't see it. He's back on his African giant.
I can see that. I don't see him subbing him for whatever reason, but I could see it. I could see him KOing him.
Because the thing is, like Whitaker came out on his, I think he was on a podcast or something this morning, and he was mentioning that he feels like DDP's forward pressing style is going to be too much to beat Izzy, and that's the blueprint to beat Izzy. I don't think it is, because DDP is not as defensively responsible as somebody like Strickland is. Strickland's very hard to hit, whereas DDP is crackable. He gets cracked constantly. So I don't know, man.
Africa got a chokehold on the middleweight division. I mean, I guess if you judge by this fight, yeah, somebody African's gonna win.
Yeah, depends how you see the whole Izzy situation, but
I mean, I don't know.
The thing is, it's even though I think Izzy doesn't deserve it, it's a huge fight, and I get why they're doing it.
Yeah,
I get it. I just don't want him to win. I don't want him to be champion again. And it's like I said, I'm worried, man, because I've been predicting stuff so well this year, and I did say this was going to happen back in January.
Yeah, you're gonna be right one more time.
That's the thing. I mean, but look at how big Paulo Costa is. Paulo Costa's got a chin, got annihilated. Because Izzy's style is perfect for people who rush in with not great defense. He always catches the DDP is big as fuck though, so I can see. The thing is that I can understand why you might feel that way, but it's not so much the size. That Izzy has that way of touching people when they're at their most vulnerable. Because Izzy's shots or knockout shots seem to be when he catches somebody off guard, and he's very good at doing that. And DDP is just very, very reckless.
Yep, it's the ones you don't see. It's the ones you don't see. DDP is winning 185. Ain't no way I'm winning 155.
We will fully support your career, Franklin. I don't care if you're 37. You can do it, bro. You can make a run.
Yeah,
if I was you, Franklin, though, if I'm serious about this, and I've said this in the past, like, balloon yourself up to heavyweight and have a crack at that. You could go from 0 to 6 months and be top 15. If you want a quick path to the potential title, if you can crack, just go on like a 4-month diet. Just eat, letting ice cream melt and drinking that in the morning. and pile on pounds as much as you can, and then just make them run at heavyweight. Depends how tall you are, though, as well. Yeah, Izzy was way bigger than Costa as well. People say this about Izzy, though. They say that he's like surprisingly big, because I know he looks skinny, but he's like, apparently he's tall and quite big. Like, he's not as skinny as he looks on camera.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. But I've seen him stand next to, like when him and John Jones ran into each other and they kind of squashed the beef. Like, the
Yeah,
size difference was alarming. Um, so, and I understand that John was bulking up at the time, but Izzy was out of camp, not at 185. Like, yeah, the difference was massive. I do think that he's bigger than people like think, but
yeah.
he ain't that big in middleweight terms. He's not
Mm,
just alarmingly big. Alex Pajeda was alarmingly big.
yeah, he looked like a giant in there. Love the commentary, but I will take over at 155 at 37 years old. Yeah, I tell you what, you'll have a supporter on this channel, sir. Have a go. Yeah, I do like I like the fight. I mean, like I said, even deserved or not deserved, I think it's something that needs to happen, because it's already a built-in storyline. They'll have a lot of eyeballs on it, and UFC needs some wins after the year that they've had. And I think UFC Perth could be a good way of getting things back on track, because it's been a very up and down year and a lot of missteps all over the show, for sure.
For sure.
For sure.
So let me show this thing. It looks like the sun should be coming up for you soon. Um yeah, I think I mean we've done a solid 3 hours. I think that I did watch X-Men 97, all of it. Um this is probably a good place for me to jump off. I don't know if you want to keep going, but for everybody that's in, make sure y'all subscribe to um the network of channels, which is Making the Walk MMA, Bad MMA Math, and the Frankie and Jax channel. So all three of them. Make sure y'all jump on and sub to those. And are you streaming? You're streaming tomorrow?
I am, yeah. I am.
Okay,
I'm basically doing. I'm gonna do like Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday now.
cool,
That's
cool.
basically gonna be I'm gonna do the same slot every day. Just do like midnight my time until 3 o'clock in the morning.
Bet.
Um, and like I said, it would just mostly be like loose chat, like I do, because the format in my one now. I don't really come in there with a plan. I just like whatever's happening that day, I'll talk about, and then I'll just let the chat go with whatever direction it wants to go in, really.
Yeah,
So I'll be back tomorrow at midnight. Um, Yeah, if one of the mods could drop some of the links in before we head off, that would be really useful.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, no, I'm going to be back tomorrow at 12, and I'll just be back to for the usual bullshit chatter. But if you haven't subscribed already, as always, we really appreciate that. And quick shout out to a couple of channels as well. Paradox is doing his thing, so get over to Paradox and subscribe as well if you haven't already. We want to get a
mhm.
quite a nice network going, and we're always happy to support other content creators as well. That's part of what got us to where we are now. So um, please do that. Aaron, get it on the mush. Yeah, I think I'm gonna call it a day here as well. But I'll definitely be back tomorrow at 12, same time as always. So you can expect me at the same time. So free 12 to 3. And thanks as well for doing this, because it was a bit last minute, but with some of the stuff we've done, but it's been good, man. It's been fun. And sorry about
Yeah.
crashing out there. I don't know what's going on with my network.
It's all good. It's all good.
Oh
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
Crystal Miller's channel as well. Show some support to Crystal Miller. She's very supportive of the channel as well, and someone who's always here. So get over to Crystal Miller. What's your How can they find you on YouTube? Like, what should they type into the search bar? because I'm subscribed to you and I watched a couple of your videos yesterday. It was fun. No, this channel is legit. Cool. We appreciate that, bro.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
much love for that.
I just sub to you, Crystal, as well. You really do have roosters. There's a lot of roosters. Are they all roosters? Are they like chickens and then some roosters? Like that's a lot of.
Crystal Miller 6464. Like I said, it's good. It's good that we're cultivating an environment here where everyone gets a chance to get their shout outs and to get their time in the sun.
There's a lot of chickens
A lot
on
of
my
chickens.
rooster.
So that
Okay.
rooster's macking out, yeah.
Dang, that's a nice life.
It's a nice life, yeah.
That's what's up. Cool. But yeah. So yeah, Frankie will be on tomorrow. We'll be back on Frankie and Jax on Sunday. We'll be on Making the Walk on Tuesday. So yeah, we'll be around.
Much love to everyone. Thanks for everyone who turned up today.
Yep.